And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lasso versus Kozlowski, step forward, please.
Lucille Lasso is suing her son-in-law, project manager Jeff Kozlowski, for an unpaid loan to build a fence. Jeff says the money was a gift to him and his wife.
Miss Lasso, the defendant is your son-in-law.
Right.
And I assume that this is your daughter. Is that right?
Correct.
Is this also a daughter?
Yes.
According to your complaint, you made a loan to your son-in-law and your daughter in the amount of $1,000. You made that loan about a year ago, and it was for them to be able to put a fence around their swimming pool. Mr. Kozlowski says that there was no loan, that this was a gift, that you made the gift not only to them, but to other of your children in the same amount of money, and that the only time that it became a loan was when the family had a falling out. Is that right, sir?
That's very accurate.
Okay. So when did you write a check or hand them the $1,000?
On 7th month, on the 13th, 02.
And tell me how that came about, Mrs. Lasso.
Debbie,
your daughter.
my daughter, she asked me if they had put up a pool and she wanted to put a fence up. But I told her, because I had been giving money to my son, I bought him a car. I moved my daughter out here from Chicago, and I told her I was using too much money and that I would loan her the $1,000, but I wanted it back within a year. And the three of us were in his kitchen, and it was quite clear. I said in front of them, this money I want back because I have been spending too much.
You said you gave your son money to buy a car.
Right.
How much did you give your son to buy the car?
$3,500.
And how much of the $3,500 has he paid you back?
$1,000.
When was the last time you received a payment from your son?
Oh, I'd say 5-6 months ago.
Prior to July 13th, how much money had you given your daughter and son-in-law?
Didn't I keep it? I gave them a lot of money. Well, they did a lot for me. I loved them to death. And when they needed something, if I needed something, it was mutual. One hand washed the other.
What kind of work did they do for you?
He put a patio in for me. She did all my gardening.
And how much did you pay them for that?
I paid them in buying things.
What?
He put my patio...
Like what?
I'm telling you.
He put your patio in, and what did you...
patio. I bought him a guitar for $400.
Guitar for $400?
And we would go shopping.
Patio. Okay, go ahead.
To put it in.
All right. I'm getting the picture. Now, what happened between your daughter and you after July?
I moved my daughter out here, and she did not like that.
Who did not like that?
Debbie did not like that. She became very hateful, very belligerent, and we had a big fight. In fact, she put a restraining order against Julie, and she did nothing. And she lied. And she filed it in behalf of me, which I had nothing to do with. So when I went...
She filed it on behalf of you?
Yes. She came to my house, and I said, "You did what?" I said, "Get out of my house. That's it. I will never give you another penny." So we went to court, and she has the paper that she filed, and none of it is true. None of it.
Okay, so you had a big fight with your daughter. And what month was that, would you say?
August she filed it.
Well, we're talking about now over a year ago. When did you decide to get this money from her?
They stashed a pool, an old rusty pool, under my deck. So my son offered to come over and help Mr. Kozlowski take the pool out from under my deck because it was no good, it was garbage.
Yes.
So my daughter-in-law walked across the street and asked Jeff if he would help my son move the pool out from under my deck. And he said, "No, I'll never do anything over there."
This was after you told your daughter that you were angry and that she was never going to get another penny from you.
Oh, that was before that. This was later.
This was before?
This was almost a year later. We haven't talked for 14 months.
I got it.
And when we do, it's something sarcastic or something.
I'm asking you when this business about the rusty old pool took place.
That was right before I filed the paper.
Recently?
August.
Recently?
Recently.
And after he said he's not moving the pool, then you filed this paper.
Correct. And then I asked her, "Are you ever going to start paying me for that fence?" Because it had already been a year. And she says, "No, prove it."
Okay, now I'll hear you. Go ahead.
My mother-in-law came over to our house and sat in our kitchen, gave us $1,000. They actually gave my wife $1,000. And the check was made out to me, and because I was going to the bank that day. That's why I'm here. This is pretty much between the words loan, borrow, pay me back were never uttered. at that time.
Well, tell me about it, Ms. Kozlowski. Tell me about this $1,000.
Well, she gave me $1,000. She also gave, and the $3,500 for the car has nothing to do with this. She also gave my brother another $1,000, and she gave my niece, her granddaughter, $1,000, all within the same 2 months, as gifts. There was no loan or anything ever mentioned.
So that's a conclusion. That's for me to decide. Tell me about the day when she gave your brother the check.
I asked her, I don't recall exactly why, but she said she was giving it to him because of all the work that he'd done around her house, and it was just because he was low on money, and he opted to use that as a mortgage payment, and I opted to use it for a fence.
Ms. Lasso, I have to make a judgment as to whether or not I believe that when you gave your daughter this, listen to me carefully, that when you gave your daughter this money, this $1,000 check, you anticipated its return, and that there was a clear understanding between you and your daughter and son-in-law that this was a loan.
Yes, ma'am.
And I find that it was not a loan. I find that it was a gift that you made, and that your argument with your daughter and son-in-law, which escalated into a Cold War, unfortunately, between the three of you, ultimately reached its crescendo when your son-in-law was asked to get rid of this pool that was stored, and he said he's not helping. And it was shortly thereafter that you decided you were going to file a lawsuit against them for $1,000. All I want to know is, do you have a check there?
Yes,
Is your
ma'am.
canceled check
I didn't
on it?
write.
Shh.
Okay.
Does your canceled check say loan or
No.
anything that would suggest a memorandum that the money was going to be returned?
No.
When you gave your son $1,000, was there anything on his check that indicated gift or loan?
No. This was strictly
So you may be angry with your daughter. That doesn't mean lawsuit. That doesn't mean case. Your case is dismissed.
Ma'am,
It was a gift.
Can
That's
I
all.
say something?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, we know who's lying here, don't we? Go ahead,
always
Ms.
you.
Meyer.
86 on the count in the matter of Simon versus Smith. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, folks.
Miss Simon, you hired the defendant to house sit for you when you were going away on vacation. You also
Right.
have pets, is that right?
Right.
And you had never used her services before, but she came highly recommended from somebody else.
Right.
It is your claim that while you were away, she allowed unauthorized people in the home.
Correct.
When you came home, you paid her.
Right.
And within a day or so of your arriving home, a neighbor told you that there had been people in the house. At that point, you claimed that you went back into the house, you checked around, and you found money that you had left in an unlocked drawer had been taken, $900 in $100 bills.
Correct.
And also that as a result of her allowing unauthorized people in the house, you decided to change the locks. So you are suing her for $1,000, which is for the locks and the $900. Ms. Smith says she did not take your money. She does not know who took your money, if any money was ever there. And she does acknowledge, I believe, that there were people in the house, people or persons in the house, that she had not asked your permission about before you left. Right?
Well, actually, when we were meeting before the job, I had asked if I could have people over, Your Honor.
You say people. She says your boyfriend over. You actually had somebody staying over.
I didn't ask.
That just a second. Is that right?
Yes, I had
Sleeping
somebody
over.
stay the night.
Right. Okay. Which certainly you hadn't discussed with her.
No, not that.
Right. Okay. How long have you been doing this kind of work?
Oh, I've been pet sitting for people that I've known for years.
Because you have a counterclaim. After you found this money missing, according to what I read, you stopped payment on her paycheck.
Correct. Yes.
So she's got a counterclaim for her paycheck and bank fees. When you've had people house sit for you before, is that right?
Correct.
When did you leave?
August 31st.
And when did you come home?
We got home about 3:30 on Thursday afternoon on September 11th.
What kind of dogs do you have?
Maltese, two boys and a girl.
And you came home and found them in pretty good shape?
They seemed very nervous.
Nervous, whatever. You found them in good shape.
Yes,
I mean, you didn't take them
yes.
to a psychiatrist. They were in
Yeah,
good shape.
yeah.
They were fed, they were okay, they were
Right.
relatively clean.
Right.
All right. Now, when you came home, you paid her, so I assume that the house looked okay to you.
I didn't pay her the day we came home. I paid her on a Saturday.
So I assume that when you came home on Thursday, you looked at your house Thursday, you looked at your house Friday, you looked at your house Saturday morning, everything looked in order, and that's when you paid her.
Yes.
So there was nothing untoward in your house when you came home.
I wasn't aware of anything until...
Fine. Then what happened?
Then on Sunday, our neighbor across the street, who I asked to watch the house while we were gone, mentioned to me that the first day that we left, Chauncey had brought a lady with a baby over and stayed overnight there and also stayed there while she was at work. He also mentioned that there was a lot of cars going in and out of our driveway at our house, and one evening there was about 6 cars out there that I was not aware of, and then I stopped payment on the check on Sunday morning.
Why did you do that?
I stopped payment after I found that the $900 that I had hidden in my desk was missing.
Miss Simon, I want you to prove to me that there was $900 in your desk.
I have some ads here that I advertised a rainbow swing set. That's a very expensive swing set. I started advertising it at $2,800 and ended up advertising it again in Trader Publications 3 different times for $2,300. The third time I advertised it, I sold it. A fellow came to the house, bought it, gave me $1,800 in cash. That was all $100 bills.
Yes, go ahead. I don't have to look at it.
Okay.
And when was that?
And that was the end of May.
Okay, so go ahead.
So I kept the money in my office. We used it as cash here and there. So when we went to the movies, I didn't have to go to the ATM. When I went on vacation, I pulled out $600 of that money and put the $900 back, and I had it in an envelope that was marked. Every time I took money out, I would mark it that I took it out, and I put it back in the office I put it between papers and a whole file system. So this person that took the money, who I think was the person with the baby, had to go through this desk methodically to look for that money. And
Miss Simon, according to Miss Smith, you had certain rooms locked off while she was house sitting.
Yes.
What rooms did you have locked off?
We had the bonus room locked off.
Which one?
The bonus room, because we put our golf clubs in there. I had a bedroom locked up.
Why did you lock up the bedroom?
Because we had painting done, and all our figurines and expensive things were in boxes, and I wanted all that stuff wrapped, all locked up.
That's 2 rooms where you could have put this $900.
Right.
What else was locked up?
A closet in my bedroom.
Why did you lock up your closet?
Because I had my clothes and my jewelry in there.
Then you take out the $900 if you had $900 and you put it in your closet.
I wish I had thought of that, but hadn't.
You can't blame her for that. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to accuse you of lying to me, but I'm saying to you that if I have cash and I take the trouble to lock up methodically certain rooms in the house for certain things, and don't go into your den, which you leave open, and take out an envelope full of cash, not figurines that you have to pawn, not something else, and put them in your closet along with your jewelry, I find that suspect.
Elmira Simon says pet sitter Chauncey Smith stole money from her home while she was away on vacation.
I don't buy, A, that there was $900 in cash in your desk, and B, even if there was, she's not responsible.
Well, someone had been in that desk.
Well, I have no idea when that happened. Maybe it happened the Friday when you came home. Who is this person here?
This is my husband.
Maybe he took it on Friday. You know, I know you're laughing. I mean, I could make up a whole scenario.
Right.
You know, he's got a 22-year-old girlfriend who flies, and he wanted to give it to us so that they could go to Costa Rica together.
Believe me, I could.
Right, sir? I mean, I could make up a whole litany of stories. She's not the only one who's entitled to the house.
I could kick myself for not thinking about that.
Simon, you got my drift?
Yeah, I got your drift.
You cannot establish the fact that even if you had this $900, that she had anything to do with taking it.
Well,
so therefore...
He saw the money before we left.
Listen to me. He may have seen the money before you left. He took it on Friday.
I think he would have
took it on Saturday. I have no idea where your money is, if it was there at the beginning. And I tell you this. Common sense indicates to me that somebody who's so methodical, who writes down every time they take out, who has an envelope, and on the envelope writes down September 1st took out $100, right? September 15th took out $200. That kind of person who's so methodical and who takes the trouble of locking 3 separate areas in the house doesn't take out this money, especially...
Let me tell you.
No. It's quiet. Especially when you say, you might have said, well, I forgot that I had the money there. That's possible. You know, sometimes listen, I'm speaking. Sometimes I take money and I'll put them in a boot You know, I'll take a couple $100, or I'll take $20 or $40, put it in a boot for mad money. And then at my age, I forget. So that I forget that it's there. And all of a sudden I go put on a pair of shoes. I can't get my foot in the shoes. And it's because so if you said to me, I had the money in my desk drawer and I forgot. I said, well, you know, that's possible to have money in your desk drawer and forget about it. But that's not what you said. You said you went there right before you went on vacation and took out $600 to go with you on vacation. When you take out the envelope, you say, I have a locked room downstairs, I have a locked bedroom, and I have a locked closet. So I'm going to take the rest of this money, the rest of this $900, and I'm locking it up. Your lawsuit's dismissed. Now, let me get to your counterclaim.
All right.
You got it. You got it. She had absolutely no right to put a stop payment on your check. Absolutely none. You shouldn't have had people over at the house. Whether you had people over at the house, shouldn't have done it.
Absolutely.
But there is no indication that having those people over at the house caused any damage to the house. The house looked perfect to her when she came home. She lived there 3 days, and then she came and paid you. And the dogs looked fine. So she had no basis to put a stop payment on your check, which was $335 on the counterclaim. Judgment for the defendant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think that the girl she had in the house with the baby took the money, because she was in that house by herself.
In hindsight, maybe it wasn't the best decision, but I've pet sat before, but they're for people I know.
She had to go through my master bedroom to find out that my closet was locked. I mean, how would she know that unless she walked in there?
She told me before she left that she was locking the bedrooms. That's how I knew that they were locked.
I should have locked it up like I locked everything else up.
I'm sticking with pet sitting for people that I know and that I trust.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Pollard versus Jones. Step forward, please.
24-year-old student Sherry Pollard is suing her mother, nurse Pat Jones, for the return of her belongings. Pat is countersuing for phone bills, storage fees, and the return of property.
Ms. Pollard, this is your mom.
Yes.
And it is your claim that your mom acknowledges that she kept your personal property when she told you and your son that you had to leave her home.
Yes.
And you want your property back. And your mom says you can have your property back when you pay her the money that you owe her. She seems to allege that you owe her some money for a cell phone bill, for property that you took when you left that didn't belong to you, and something for storage. Had you always lived with your mother?
No, I had not lived with her since I was 16.
And when did you move back?
It was February earlier this year.
And when did she tell you to leave?
I believe it was the 18th of June.
Why did you tell her to leave, Miss Jones?
There had been numerous times that I told her to leave because she became verbally abusive at different times, and told her that this was not working out.
So it wasn't working out because you didn't like her attitude?
Absolutely.
So you told her to leave?
Yes.
Okay. And on June 18th, did she leave?
I had reminded her on June 18th that as of the end of the month she needed to move. And I had told her that at the beginning of June. She was allowed to live with me as long as she was in school full-time.
Just a minute. You told her she had to leave.
Yes.
And what happened on the 18th of June?
She wanted to go to the storage and get her things, which I went with her to the storage and wanted her to sign the storage over to herself. It was in my name.
So?
She could not do that because she didn't have car insurance and they would not lease it to her.
Okay.
So during the day...
The storage unit is storage unit where she put her stuff...
Her belongings.
When she moved into your house?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
But earlier that day when I had told her that she had to move, her demeanor began to escalate and she became verbally abusive again and told me that she was going to take everything she could from me because I had not been the kind of mother I should have been to her.
Okay.
So with that knowledge and going to the storage, I decided that I was going to hold that property until she moved out and I knew that my property was safe.
And
when she left, when she moved that day, it was not safe.
Now, what was missing?
She took photographs off the wall. She took...
What photos?
There was a photo, a 1920 photo of my former mother-in-law who I was very close to, who is now deceased.
What else?
She took a rolling pin. She took lids to the Tupperware. She took a cutting board. I mean, mundane, silly things.
Okay, stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Anything else that was important?
She took money out of my closet.
How much money did you take out of your closet?
I'm estimating $200 to $300 in change.
Did you take any change from her house?
No, ma'am.
No. What else?
That's all.
So she took this property out of your house and?
and I asked for it back.
What else does she owe you for?
Just the storage and her cell phone.
Well, tell me about the cell phone.
When she moved in, she wanted a cell phone, and I told her she could use the landline phone that was in the home. She wanted a cell phone to run her little business that she was trying to create. And so I said, I will get you the cell phone, but you have to pay for it. She agreed to pay for that cell phone, which she never did. She also agreed to pay for her storage, which she never did.
Just a second. You got her the cell phone in February or March?
The beginning of February.
So you got the bill in February?
Got the bill in March.
And did you pay the bill in March?
Absolutely.
Did you pay the bill in April?
Yes.
Did you pay the bill in May?
Yes.
Did you pay the bill the beginning of June?
Yes.
Okay. Did you pay the storage bill?
I did.
Was your daughter working?
She was working part-time.
Yes.
And she was not paying me any money.
Good.
She kept saying, I don't have any money to pay you.
Just to say, was she also going to school?
She was going to school, and I was paying for her books. I put her on my insurance. I paid her medical, her co-pays.
Fine. How old are you?
24.
Okay. So, big deal. What I'm saying to you is, big deal. She came back to you for a reason. Difficult time. She's 24 years old. How old's your child?
He just turned 6.
Okay. So, she's clearly a young lady who's made some mistakes. Right?
Yes.
Okay. But she's doing the right thing. She's going to school. She's working part-time. She's buying her own clothes. At least she's trying to buy her own clothes. She's taking care of her from whatever little money she's making. I mean, it's not as if she's sitting around playing the guitar and eating bonbons all day. What do you want?
What I want is I want
rolling pin back?
I want what is fair.
I'm going to tell you what's fair. What's fair is 5 days from today, you want to open the storage unit. You will meet there. You can have a police escort if you wish. She's going to take out her stuff. And as far as the rolling pin, the photos, and anything else, did you take any of that stuff?
No, Your Honor.
Shh.
No.
You have the photo that she's referring to. Don't lie to me.
No, I
Don't.
do not.
Did you take it?
No.
Okay. Did you promise your mother that you would pay for the cell phone?
No.
What about the storage? Did she ask you for money for the storage unit in March?
No.
April?
No, she knew I did
In
not
May.
have any.
Are you still in school?
Yes, I am. I'm full-time right now.
Who's supporting you?
Myself. I have 2 jobs right now.
Okay. 5 days from today, Miss Pollard, your daughter gets all of her stuff back. I don't think that there's any basis for me to find that there was a loan on your part to your daughter for the cell phone or for the storage unit. I'm sorry if she was in fact fresh to you, and she might have been.
Well, Your Honor.
There's a whole history, so I'm sure that she probably said things that she shouldn't have. Did you say anything to your mother that you shouldn't have?
Yes, I did get very upset.
Okay. Well, you shouldn't have, because it's probably hurtful, and I'm sure she's done things to you that you felt were hurtful, and she reacted to that. But reacting to it does not create a loan. Your counterclaim is dismissed. Her property is to be returned to her within 5 days. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your
That's
Honor.
all.
Yeah, this is case number 274 on the calendar in the matter of Quarterbitty versus Swan. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
How long have you been neighbors?
9.5 years, Your Honor.
And how long have you lived in your house?
I've lived in my house for 10 years.
So you moved in 6 months after she did, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm getting to the lawsuit, but I want to find out what the genesis of the problem is between you two seemingly normal-looking people. When did the trouble start between the two of you?
About a month after he moved in.
Why?
I found out afterwards that he believed that the property line was about 2 or 3 feet closer to my side than it actually was.
Yes.
He was trying to sort of push things over to move the property line where he thought it should be.
Did you have your property surveyed?
I didn't. I didn't realize this was an issue. I did in April 2001.
Well, that took a long time. When you bought your property, you had a survey?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the survey indicated, at least as far as you were concerned, that your property line was 2 or 3 feet into property that Miss Quarterbitty had previously thought was hers.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you have a discussion with her about it?
No, Your Honor.
Why not?
Well, because I had a survey that was on my property, and I knew that she had a survey of the same fence line, so I knew that she knew that the fence was on my property.
Just a second. You knew that there was a fence that she had erected that was on your property?
No, Your Honor. This is a fence that was existing before both of us, both parties bought the property.
Okay. And that fence was on your property?
Yes, Your Honor.
As far as your survey was concerned?
2 surveys, yes, Your Honor.
So you wanted to move the fence?
No.
Well, what was the problem? I don't understand what the problem was.
I didn't have a problem with it, Your Honor.
May I speak?
Yeah.
Shortly after he moved in, he started mowing down my plants. He started cutting other plants. He started moving my woodpile over. I didn't know what was going on. He didn't come and say to me, hey, you know, there's an error here. Keep your stuff on your side. No, he just moves it over. So I moved it back. He had backfilled it with dirt, and I was digging out the dirt and moving it back when he came out and he attacked me with a rake in 1997.
Okay. I don't have to get back as far as your incidents with each other in 1997. Suffice it to say that this whole problem started because the two of you did not act like adults. You have a lawyer? Mm-hmm. Did you have a lawyer?
Yes.
Well, if you don't wish to speak to her, even though she's your neighbor, you have your lawyer write a letter and say, Dear Miss Quarterbitty, we believe that this is Mr. Swan's property. Please check your survey. If there is any difficulty, have your lawyer get in touch with us. Yes?
May I interject something? We did go to arbitration, and I offered to be friends, and she refused that in arbitration.
When?
Back in 1995, Your Honor.
When you went to arbitration, what was the result of the arbitration with regard to the property?
No result was issued on that.
Your Honor, if I may, the arbitration at the time was for something entirely different.
I want to know, was there ever a resolution with regard to this property?
No, it has not gone through civil court yet.
So, as far as each of you is concerned, there's a 2 to 3 foot strip of property that is in dispute. Is that right?
No, it is not right, Your Honor. He thought it was 2 or 3 feet. In fact, the fence is on his property by 6 inches.
To some people, 6 inches is very important.
Absolutely. I understand that now. However, I had a survey, and I didn't study it. I didn't realize that, yes, the fence appeared to be on his property by a small amount. I didn't look at it until he started mowing things down and beating on my fence, trying to push it over and undermine it and tear it down, basically.
How large a piece of property do you have, Mr. Swan?
It's a little over half an acre.
Well, that's a pretty decent-sized piece of property. Is there anything that is particularly attractive about this strip of property?
Your Honor, I think with the
Is there something particularly attractive about this piece of property?
No, Your Honor.
Then what's the big deal? There are more important things to deal with in life. Why would you move her woodpile over a foot? Why?
I deny that allegation.
Mr. Swan, that's not true. You moved it because it was irritating to you that she was on your property.
If it was on my property and I had right of claim, then I would have moved it.
Did you move it?
If it was on my property.
Did you move it?
Yes.
Then I'm saying to you, you're a fool. Because that's not the way civilized people behave. It's just not. Especially when you're new in the neighborhood. It's ridiculous. However, I have a feeling that you acted badly as well.
I don't know why you would have that feeling, Your Honor.
Really? Because you were convicted of assault, madam, that's why. Your case here says that he falsely accused you of assaulting him and you want to be compensated, and that he has damaged your house and you want to be compensated. But when I read further in his answer, you were convicted of assault.
Can I explain to you why?
No.
Okay.
Once you're convicted, you cannot charge him with having falsely accused you of assaulting him. Do you understand?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Well,
if he brings fraudulent evidence into the courtroom and the Commonwealth attorney believed him, and the judge found him guilty based upon this fraudulent evidence.
Found you guilty.
Found me guilty based upon his fraudulent evidence.
We don't revisit that, madam. You don't get to try the same case twice. So you have no claim against him for the false arrest. Now, you have a charge against him. You say that he's damaged your home.
Can I show you a videotape of this happening?
Yes. Damage to your home has not been litigated yet, as far as I know. Is that right? Is that right? Has the damage to your home been litigated?
I pressed a charge, but I withdrew it. We traded charges, basically. Which has been going on all the time.
Hold on a second. You filed charges with regard to the damage on your home that's in that video?
I did.
Did you subsequently drop those charges?
I did. I traded them for the appeal. I had a charge against him, he had a charge against me,
and you both agreed to withdraw those charges. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Then that's finished.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He has almost totally destroyed the existing fence.
He can destroy whatever he wants to on his property.
No, he can't.
Oh, yes, he can.
No, he can't.
You say potato and I say potato, madam. He can, in fact, take down a fence that's on his property.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Janet Quarterbitty says she's at war with neighbor Mark Swan over a property line. She is suing him for damages to her home and for filing false charges with the police.
Do either of you two people have any fresh complaints about the other that have not been the subject of either a settlement or a lawsuit?
I do.
When?
Over the last year, he has almost totally destroyed the existing fence.
Is this the fence that's on his property?
Yes, it is.
The fence is on his property?
It's his, but it's my fence.
He can destroy whatever he wants to on his property.
No, he can't.
Oh, yes, he can.
No, he can't.
You say potato and I say potato, madam. He can, in fact, take down a fence that you erected if it's on his property.
But I didn't erect it. It was there. It was pre-existing.
Then you certainly have no complaint. If he took down a fence that you acknowledge is on his property, that you, in fact, did not put up, he has the right to take it down. He has the right to take it down even if you did put it up, if it's on his property. You can't erect a structure on somebody else's property.
I didn't.
Oh.
It was there before.
Okay. I've taken care of your claim. You have no claim. I'm coming back to you. You have a counterclaim. Your counterclaim is for medical bills and damages due to the assault. Has this been the subject of any other proceeding?
No.
You have never sued her for the medical bills as a result of the assault. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. Let me see. The assault was in 2002, is that right?
June of 2002, right.
You have photographs of the assault? What is this that you're showing me? What is this that you're showing me?
These are attorney's fees, Your Honor. Those are prior proceedings, too.
I think that both of them needs another kind of professional. Right?
Could be.
Your Honor, may I speak?
I see a mark on your arm, sir, a large bruise on your arm.
Right.
I want you to tell me when this happened and under what circumstances it happened, and then you will show me what I asked you for, which were the medical bills as a result of this assault.
Okay, I have an HMO that pays for the medical bill.
So you had no medical bills?
I have the receipts.
So you had no medical bills, the HMO covered it, so you want damages for your pain and suffering?
That's correct.
Okay. Tell me how this happened.
Okay, this is ongoing things you're throwing. Every time...
Just listen to me. Do you see this? I want you to tell me how this happened.
I had a boulder thrown at me. It went past my head. I put my arm up. It hit me right in the arm.
What kind of boulder?
It's a boulder the size of 2 fists, a rock.
A rock.
Right.
Where were you when this rock was thrown at you?
I was standing between the 2 houses on my side of the fence.
And what were you doing?
I was cutting my grass, working in the yard.
And what was Miss Quarterbitty doing?
Miss Quarterbitty was watching me, which is her favorite pastime. Every time I get near the fence, or if I'm cutting the grass near the fence, this upsets her, this agitates her.
Okay. So she picked up a rock and threw it at you?
Unprovoked a lot of times.
I'm not interested in a lot of times, sir. I'm interested in this time. This is the time when she was convicted of assault. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. You saw a doctor how many times, sir?
I went twice.
What kind of treatment did you receive?
He gave me coated Tylenol, which is for the pain. There was a deep muscle bruise.
Were the police called after this?
Yes, they were.
Do you have a police report?
The police were not called on that day.
Not with me, Your Honor.
Police were not called on that day.
When were you contacted by the police, Miss Quarterbitty? Was it the day after?
No.
When was it?
It was, I guess, a couple of weeks later that some officer came into my yard and said I was under arrest. And I said, for what?
When did you call the police, sir?
June 30th, 2002.
And when did this incident occur?
June 30th, 2002.
Did you file a complaint?
Yes, I did. I went down to the magistrate's office immediately. I filed a complaint, and I went to Kaiser Permanente immediately.
Did you miss any work?
No, Your Honor.
Was there a hearing before a bench or before a jury?
Bench.
You waived a jury trial?
There was no question of jury trial at that point.
You had an attorney?
I didn't have an attorney. I didn't do anything. I didn't get an attorney because I had nothing to defend myself against. Your Honor, I have his complaint right here, a copy of his complaint.
I'd like to see it.
that he took down to the magistrate that morning. And the magistrate annotated on it. The magistrate annotated on it, red mark on right arm.
Right.
The picture you see is of an arm with quite an extensive injury, and it's not even him, frankly. If you look at the picture, there's no way to identify.
I want to tell you something, madam. If you threw a rock at him and he had a little mark on his right arm, you're way out of line.
I didn't throw a rock
I don't believe
at him.
you. I don't. If you threw a rock and it hit him, you're way out of line. I believe that you did. You have to stop fighting with each other because life is short. Do you understand? He is absolutely entitled to recover, Miss Quarterbitty, because you were convicted of assault. A judge hearing this case beyond a reasonable doubt found that you were, in fact, guilty of throwing a rock at him and causing him injury. Judgment for the defendant on the counterclaim in the amount of $2,500. You better stop it.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think Judge Judy did a very good job.
On the basis of his false evidence, they found me guilty.
She's provoking me all the time, every time I'm out, even when I'm cutting the grass.
She's a jerk.
She has no life. This is what she does for a living.
It was never an assault. I mean, I went into court without a lawyer because I had nothing to defend.
All parties in the matter of McCauley versus Cianciolo, step forward, please.
25-year-old network engineer Melissa McCauley is suing her former best friend, 25-year-old pharmaceutical sales rep Tristan Cianciolo, for unpaid loans for rent and a Las Vegas vacation.
Miss McCauley, how long have you and the defendant been friends?
I've known the defendant since 2nd grade.
Did you go to college together?
Yes.
According to your complaint, Miss McCauley, the defendant owes you a lot of money. You claim a series of loans to her that started a while ago. Defendant says that you were just helping her out and it was a gift. Are those prescription glasses that you're wearing?
Yes. Unless I'd have to read something, I can take them off.
Oh, perfect. I would prefer that. Okay. Tell me about the first loan that you made to the defendant.
She was going through a rough time, and she was actually going to get evicted from her apartment probably the next day unless I was able to get her the funds.
How did she contact you?
Through a phone call.
Tell me about the phone call.
She said that the roommate that she had originally signed a lease with, she had moved out. She said that it came to the point where they were going to evict her if she didn't get the money to them the next day. So she asked me to take my money out of my account and deposit it to her account, which I have documentation of.
Okay, let me see. And what did you say when she asked you to do this?
Well, it was a lot of money, and I was just like, well, as long as you can pay me back, you know, that I would lend it to her. And she assured me that she'd pay me back.
So you lent her this money on October the 10th?
Yes.
And she said she would pay you back. Did she start to pay you back?
No, Your Honor.
Did you ask her for any of the money back?
I asked her for the status of it, and she said that she didn't have the money to give me at the time, and she was actually trying to get the funds from her ex-roommate.
So then you wanted to go away for New Year's Eve together?
Yeah.
And you went to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about it.
Well, I asked her if she wanted to go to the trip, and she said she would, and I told her I would pay for the expenses, and she would pay me back.
So, despite the fact that you made no payments on the $3,000, you decided to, according to you, advance her more money to go on the trip to Vegas for New Year's. From Florida? You were living in Florida at the time? You had to fly from Florida to Vegas, because that's the only place that you could celebrate New Year's. Is that what you're telling me?
That's what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Looking back,
I'm listening. I'm just listening.
Looking back at it,
So
I wasn't wise.
Right. Now, so you went, and she still paid you no money, right? Didn't pay any money in January when you got back?
I was actually waiting for the girl. I was in a lawsuit. I wanted to get the money from her to be able to pay Melissa back.
Did you say to her, as soon as my lawsuit settles, I'll pay you back?
Basically, but the lawsuit hasn't settled.
That's not an answer.
I don't recall exactly what I said, but I believe that she was under the impression, and we've had discussions about it, that as soon as I did get the money from this girl and the lawsuit settled, that I would pay her back. But this girl skipped out, and she's not even here.
Is that what you discussed with her?
Those terms weren't defined. This is between myself and the defendant. It's not between myself and her roommate.
So she didn't pay you back in October, she didn't pay you back in December. So in January, you lent her yet another sum of money. Tell me about that.
Well, while we were on the trip, we were discussing her future, and she had mentioned that she really would like to go to real estate school and get her license. She could make a lot of money. She could pay me back in no time. But she needed $1,000 in order to do so. So I was thinking, you know, if I enabled her to go to school, she'd be able to get a job and pay me back the money that she owed me faster.
You have documentation that
Yes,
you put money in her account or a check?
I have a carbon copy and a statement.
Okay, so you gave her another $1,000 on the 23rd of January.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then what happened?
And then, you know, through mutual friends, I heard that she didn't even use the money for the real estate school. And from that point forward, I tried to call her to arrange some sort of payment plan, and she's avoided my phone calls.
Okay, I'm ready.
Well, basically, we've always done things for each other. When she needed something from me, I've always done things for her. And granted, when she did loan me the money, I did intend on paying her back, and I think that I did make her feel as if I was going to pay her back as soon as I had the money. But I think there was a miscommunication there, just because I was referring more so to if the case with this other roommate went, you know, if I got the money from her, not out of my own pocket.
Is what you're telling me, madam, that you acknowledge, you used the word loan, that you did in fact tell her that this was a loan?
We've had
several. You did say that.
I really don't recall all the conversations, and I realize I do feel bad. I mean, being friends in second grade, I've lost our friendship, you know, on the level that I had it, so that definitely bothers me. But, you know, I'm going through a rough time.
That's not what I asked you. I asked you a simple question. Did you view this as a loan when she gave you the money?
I guess in some respects, yes.
Fine. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,796.05. Thank you, that's all.
It's case number 324 on the calendar in the matter of Saunders versus Gershonoff. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Ms. Saunders, the defendant used to be a friend of yours, such a good friend that she gave you a credit card with her name on it for you to use.
Actually, the credit card she kept, I charged on it.
You used the credit card?
Yes,
and
I
you
did.
did it for a couple of years?
Yes, I did.
According to your complaint, there came a time when there was some question about whether or not that bill had been paid off.
Mm-hmm.
And you claimed that the defendant came over to your house and assaulted you, beat you up.
Yes, she did.
And you are suing for the
Yes,
injuries
I am.
that you sustained as a result of that assault. Why did you let her charge on your credit card?
Because she doesn't have good credit, and she has 3 kids, and I've been her children's life since they've been born, and I wanted to help her out with stuff that she needed.
And did you charge on that credit card as well?
I did charge on an accident a couple items, but I had paid it, and I have documentation that I had paid the amount that I had accidentally charged 1 month.
Only that one time?
Yes.
Other than that, the only charges on this credit card were Ms. Saunders?
Correct.
And was that your agreement with her so that you'd keep things separate?
There really wasn't an agreement. I should say there wasn't really an agreement, but that's just how I had it. I have another credit card that's for another girlfriend of mine. She uses that credit card solely just for her purchases also.
Why?
Because I'm a nice person. I like to help people out. And
all right. Now let me hear about this assault, because that's really what brought you here.
Okay.
When did that take place?
That took place on September 5th of 2003.
Tell me what happened.
The defendant came to my house. She knocked on the door. My daughter opens the door. My 9-year-old opens the door, and she proceeds to tell my daughter to go get your mother. I'm in my room, which isn't too far away from the front door, so I'm hearing the whole conversation. My daughter tells her to come back later because the defendant's witness was in the car, who was my ex-boyfriend, and I didn't want him on my property or in the vicinity of me. So she says, no, I don't want to come back later. Tell your mother I want to see her right now. Tell her to give me my $85.
You knew what she was there for?
Yes, I do. Oh, I do know what she was there for, but I didn't know that it was going to...
But you knew what she was there for?
Yes,
How did you know what she was there for?
Because I got numerous calls from her and a friend of ours.
Why did you stop making payments on the bill?
Because of the fact that I've asked on numerous occasions, once back in December of 2002 for the itemized statement. Again in May or June of 2003, I asked for an itemized statement. And then again in September, I asked for an itemized statement because I wanted to make sure that they were all mine, which they were. So I decided not to make the payment because of the fact that she wasn't coming through with the itemized statements.
How many months hadn't you made a payment?
Just the 1 month, September.
Okay, fine. And how much do you still owe the defendant on the credit card?
I owe what it is that she says, the $900 and some odd.
$932. Did you, in fact, go over each item on the bill?
Yes, I did.
And you acknowledge that those are all your bills?
Yes.
And the finance charges attached to your expenditures?
Yes.
Fine, so we've taken care of the counterclaim. $932 on your side. Go ahead. So now you're talking back and forth at the door through your 9-year-old.
Okay. So then my 9-year-old goes outside, and I'd say within 3 to 5 minutes, Rachel comes into the house. Rachel comes into my room and says, "Give me my money. Give me my effing money." So I said, "Get out, you know, I don't want you here. Get out of my house." She starts pushing me, and she pushes me back down onto the bed. I'm sitting on the bed, and she says to me, "Do you want me to beat your A?" You know, and I'm like, "Are you threatening me?" And she's like, "Do you want me to beat your butt?" And I'm like, "You know what? I don't want you here. I'm calling 911. She then snatches the phone out of my hand and then jumps on me on the bed. So I kick her off, and then we get up, and I'm trying to reach for my phone. And as I'm reaching for my phone, she grabbed me by the arm, and she left a bruise on my arm. And she again then pushes me back down onto the bed face first. She punches me with her fist in my head. She had all her rings on, and I had an orange bruise on my head from that. So I again ask Rachel to leave. I tell her to get off of me and get the hell out of my house. So she then pushes me around the room a couple more times and then pushes me over by the window, and the kids are outside playing. And I scream out the bedroom window, "Someone call 911.
And then she left?
And then she left because I had finally screamed out the window for someone to call 911.
The police arrived that day?
45 minutes later.
You have a report?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it. Okay, start talking. You went over to the house on September 5th.
And I brought her the credit card statements, went to the door, pretty much exactly what she said. I went to the door, knocked on the door, and I asked, "Is your mother home? Can I speak to your mother?" She said, "No, she's in the bed. She doesn't want to talk to you." And I said, "Well, I brought her credit card statements." She asked for credit card statements. I brought her the statements. I would like my payment. And she went back in there, and she said, "My mom says that she doesn't want to talk to you. She's sick. She doesn't want to come in there." And I said to Susie, I said, I want to give you these statements. I'm not going to leave."
You said to her, or you yelled to her?
I yelled to her. I said, "Susie, I said, you need to come out and talk to me. You want these statements. I need the payment. The payment's going to be late. It's a $35 late fee. I want the payment. You told me once you got your welfare check that you were going to pay it." And she didn't. So I told her, I said, "I'm going to step in, hand you the payment, and I'm going to leave." And she didn't say anything to me. She didn't answer me or anything. When to give her the statement, she told me to get the F out of her house, and I left.
Okay. What other paperwork do you have?
I have the restraining orders.
Let me see them, please.
This is the first one that I filed, and this is the extension.
Anything else there?
This is from the hospital.
I'd like to see it. What happened with the result of you filing this protective order? Was there a final order issued?
It's out for 3 years. The extension is for 3 years.
Okay. Ms. Kirchhoff, do you recall going to court on or about the 25th of September?
I do.
And did you see a judge at that time?
Yes, I did.
Were you represented by counsel?
Nope.
So you didn't think you needed a lawyer?
No.
Okay. Now, did you or did you not have a trial?
No.
If you did not have a trial, then you consented to the entry of a protective order?
Yes.
Well, you understand that by consenting to the entry of a protective order, it is a statement that you could not meet the charges against you were she to proceed to trial. Do you understand that? So that in effect you're saying, "I am guilty." You understand that?
Yes.
Now, the plaintiff sought medical treatment. The medical report indicates that she had bruising. The medical report indicates she was provided a prescription painkiller for both her head and the bruising that she had. And you, in effect, pled guilty by consenting to an order of protection. What do you think I'm supposed to make of that?
I tried to explain my story of the reason why I went over there. When I told him the reason why I went over there, that nothing happened, I went there because I wanted to give her credit card statements. He pretty much shushed me up and told me that this needs to go to small claims court. This is not to be taken care of in here. And I just said, okay, whatever, fine, I'll do whatever.
Okay, whatever, fine?
I didn't
now
say
you're
that,
playing
but-
stupid?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
There are a lot of other people she could have taken over to be a witness. She didn't have to take you when you're an irritant.
There was never a problem between us.
I'm not
All of a sudden
speaking
there's
to
a
you
problem.
anymore.
Cool.
And later today,
She became verbally abusive again and told me that she was going to take everything she could from me because I had not been the kind of mother I should have been to her.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Susie Saunders claims former friend Rachel Gershinoff forced her way into her house and beat her up. Rachel admits she entered Susie's home, but claims there was no assault.
You understood exactly why you were going to court. That was not a civil proceeding, that was a criminal proceeding.
All it was a restraining. If she wants to get a restraining order against me not to see her, that's fine. I don't want to see her anyway. What is that going to do to me? There's nothing.
I'm going to tell you what it has to do with you. If you violate a restraining order, you can go to jail for an extended period of time if there is a restraining order because it's a contempt. Even if she decides not to press charges, the police officer sees you within a certain number of feet from her, police officer can arrest you, and you have absolutely no defense. Absolutely none. It's a restraining order. It lists what you can, what you cannot do. That's a difference. And I believe that you understand that. I believe that you understood that when you went there, you had the ability to have a trial. You wanted to tell your story. Say, I want a trial. I'm not guilty of anything. She says I'm guilty of beating her up. I never laid a hand on her. Why in the world would I consent to her having this order of protection till 2006? I'm not guilty. And you tell your story, you say, I want a trial. You chose not to do that.
That was a mistake on my part.
Big time. You want to know why you chose not to do that? Because you hit her. That's why you chose not to do it. You were frustrated because what she did was wrong. She's talking through her 9-year-old. She's telling her friend, get out of here, I don't want to see you. It was wrong of you to bring him over to the house.
He's my roommate.
She had no idea I was even there.
Just a second. Maybe she looked out of a window. Maybe her 9-year-old told her. How do you know? And what I'm saying is, there are a lot of other people she could have taken over to be a witness. She didn't have to take you when you're an irritant.
There was never a problem between us.
I'm not speaking to you anymore.
Cool.
You assaulted her. You have no right to assault her. You have no right to cause her injury. She owed you money. She should have paid you. And she shouldn't have been obnoxious and said, come back another time. I absolutely agree with you. You had no right to put your hands on her. You had no right to injure her. She's suing you for $5,000. Is that right?
Correct.
I want to know how many days you missed of work.
I don't work.
Why don't you work?
Because I'm a homemaker.
How many children do you have?
3.
How old are they?
6, 8, and 9.
They all go to school?
Yes, they do.
Well, what are you doing there in school?
I am at home. My boyfriend works.
Does he live with you?
No. He helps with my finances and helps me pay my bills.
Does the state also help you pay your bills?
Yes, they do.
So you're on welfare?
Yes, I am.
Why don't you get a job?
Because I'm currently in with a psychiatrist right now. I'm going to be applying for SSI.
What's the nature of your disability?
Severe depression and social anxiety.
Judgment for the plaintiff for the damages as a result of the assault. You didn't have any lost wages or anything else, so this is just pain and suffering. $2,500. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I want the credit card paid for purchases that she purchased.
There is no longer a friendship.
I'm not going to pay someone else's bill for their purchases that they have in their home.
Maybe one day, years and years from now, we might be able to work it out.
She's on welfare, and now she's trying to get Social Security,
but probably not.
And she's 28 years old, and she can perfectly get a job. She's not depressed.
She's very sad that a 10-year friendship has to go down the drain.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Martin versus Acosta, step forward, please.
20-year-old customer service rep Stephanie Martin is suing daycare provider Christina Acosta for a refund of babysitting fees and medical bills. Stephanie claims, due to Christina's negligence, her 9-month-old daughter fell down a staircase. Christina is countersuing for slander.
Miss Martin, you have a baby girl?
Yes, ma'am.
And how old is the baby?
She's 10 months.
Miss Acosta was your daycare provider for a period of time. It is your claim that while the baby was in Miss Acosta's care, she fell down a flight of stairs while in a walker.
Correct.
You want a refund of the money that you paid her because you paid for that week in advance, and you want the child's medical bills covered, and you want something for pain and suffering for the baby.
Correct.
Miss Acosta says, pretty much, when children are in daycare, accidents happen. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And she is counterclaiming. She says that you have been bad-mouthing her around town, which has caused her insurance to go up, and some people have left her business, so she's suing you for slander, defamation.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The baby did, in fact, fall down the stairs while in your care.
Yes, correct.
So if Miss Martin said to other people that you were not a good daycare provider because you were negligent in allowing the baby to fall down the stairs, that would be true.
True.
So you can't sue her.
That's fine.
Good. How much did you pay each week for the baby to be
It was
cared for?
$20 a day, and I usually kept her in there for 4 days, so it was $80 a week.
And how much are you seeking back in fees that you prepaid?
$40.
That you had already paid for after this incident?
Correct.
Okay. And what are the medical bills?
One is $146 and one is $122.
The child is okay?
Yes, she is.
Lucky. How did she fall down the stairs?
I have a basement. The door was shut and it's always locked. All the children were watching TV. Destiny's in her walker, and she's just walking around. My friend of mine came over to the house, and I walked into the kitchen and retrieved a brochure for her. And I came back in to the living room. I noticed that 2 girls were gone. And I looked around, and then I heard Destiny in her walker near the dining room where the stairs are. And I heard the walker go to that first step. And I immediately ran to her.
But she fell down the stairs?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, if the basement door is locked, how did it get unlocked?
The 2 girls that snuck away unlocked the door and went downstairs.
How old are the 2 girls who snuck away?
3 years old.
And how is the door locked?
It's a doorknob that has a lock on it. I have pictures of them.
Just a regular doorknob with a lock on it?
Yes,
where
ma'am.
you press?
No, turn.
That's not sufficient. If you have a 3-year-old that can reach that, that's not sufficient. You have to have a latch and hook an eye all the way up on top so that the basement door can't be opened. You were negligent. How many children do you take care of, Mr. Costa?
6.
How old are they?
They range from 6 years old, and Destiny was the youngest. At the time, she was 8 months.
So why don't you think you're responsible for these medical bills or return it for $40?
Ma'am, I never refused to pay for medical bills. Miss Martin refused to give me the medical bills. I have the police officer's narrative stating that she refused to give him the medical bills so he could photocopy them and give them to me.
So you're not a licensed daycare provider?
No, ma'am. You have to have more than 6 children in your care.
Well, can you be licensed if you have less than 6 children in your care?
You can if you would like, but it's not necessary in the state of Ohio.
But you can?
If you wish.
Okay. She chose to go to court. She chose not to give them to police, but she chose to pursue this by way of a civil remedy. I don't see... Listen, this was an accident. She was clearly negligent. Fortunately, your child was not injured. She got a couple of bumps and scrapes. It's not a case that I feel warrants $3,000 that you're suing for, but you certainly should have your expenses back. You certainly should have your money back. So I'm awarding you what that is, which is $308. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Yeah, this is case number 354 on the calendar in the matter of Lee versus Nation. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, folks.
Miss Lee, the defendant is your niece. According to the complaint that I read, it is your claim that she filed false charges against you, alleging that you had assaulted her. Assaulted her on a day that you were visiting your stepfather's ranch and she was there. Miss Nation says that you did in fact assault her and she legitimately contacted the police. That despite the fact that the charges, according to you, were ultimately dismissed.
Correct.
Okay. When was this incident involving your niece?
It actually took place on July 28th.
Where?
At my stepdad's ranch.
Is that where you live?
Yes.
And tell me what happened with your niece.
My kids and I had been invited to attend a rodeo with my stepdad's girlfriend, Deb. So on July 26th, which is a Friday, we went. We were headed to the ranch. On our way there, we have to go through my hometown. When we got into the hometown, Stormy's dad, who is also my brother.
Is that you?
Yes.
My brother-in-law had a new semi, and he had it parked out in front of the bar.
Let's finish that sentence.
Semi-truck.
Okay.
And my kids were all excited. They wanted to stop and see their Uncle Dwayne, so we stopped at the bar.
I went inside the bar, and Stormy and Steve were seated at the end of the bar. I knew when I walked into the bar, I was visiting with other people. I could tell she had given me an evil eye, that she was upset about something at that time. So when I approached Stormy, I said, "Hi, Stormy." She said, "Hi." I said, "What's wrong?" She said, "I'm a little bit pissed at you." I said, "Stormy, I don't come up here. I don't call you guys. I don't want anything to do. I don't try to get involved in your little soap operas, but yet I still seem to get involved."
Did she tell you why she was annoyed with you?
For the simple fact that she did not think that I should be at the ranch. At that time, she was under the impression it was her ranch, her house, and that she had to say who could and could not be there.
Is that what you told her?
No. There was a time where I remember her coming in and talking to me, but I don't remember saying anything that I was ever upset with her.
Okay. Fine.
We had the conversation, and I then stated I thought it would be a good idea if she was going to live at the ranch, that she purchase her own mobile home to live out there.
Just a second. Why are you giving her advice? I'm just curious. If you know she's annoyed with you, why are you giving her advice?
Because we're having a civil conversation at that time.
So that's on the 26th of July. Can we move over to the 28th of July, please?
Yes. Which was a Sunday. We had been to the rodeo the day before. Stormy and Steve came home. The kids and my stepdad were out.
And you were staying at the ranch?
Yes, we were.
Okay, and they were living at the ranch?
We were living, yes.
Good.
Okay, so they arrived Sunday morning. I'm in the kitchen cleaning up from breakfast, doing the dishes, and I said hi when they walked in, and Stormy snottily to me said, under her breath, "Hi." So I then asked her why she
had an attitude.
Had an attitude with me. She then tried to leave and go to her bedroom. I followed her.
Why?
Because we're having a discussion.
She didn't want to have a discussion. Discussion takes two people. She didn't want to have anything to do with you. She was leaving. What happened when you followed her?
Then she tried to shut the door. I pushed the door open. I said, "No, we're going to talk. I want to talk to you now." She sat on the edge of the bed. We had a very short-lived conversation.
Well, what did you say to her, and what did she say to you?
It was just...
She tried to go into her room. You pushed your way into her room. She sat at the edge of her bed. You had a short conversation. I want to know what the conversation was.
It was all based on this. She didn't think that I should be at the ranch.
When she had forced herself into my room, I said, "Lori, I don't want to talk to you." I said, "I don't have an attitude problem, and that was it." I said, "I don't want to talk about it." And she said, "Well, we're going to talk about it." And she had a hold of me, pushing me on the bed, holding me in my room.
Okay, go ahead.
She's like, "We're going to talk about this." I said, "No, we're not." And I got out of my room and went outside. That's when I had went outside. And a minute, two, behind me, here she came.
And what happened when she came up behind you?
We started talking. She's like, "We just need to talk about this. We need to work out our problems." And I said, "What problems?" "I don't have an attitude problem." I said, "I've never done anything to you. I just don't want to talk to you right now." I said, "You're making me mad, and it's making me upset." And so we decided that was enough. We hugged and thought it was all over. Then I went over to help my grandpa in the garden. And then that's when she followed me over there. She's constantly yelling at me, saying that I have a bad mouth, I'm spoiled, I need to have my attitude adjustment.
Now, what did she say when you were in the garden?
She was just constantly screaming at me.
You mean while you were helping your grandfather in the garden, she was screaming at you?
Yes.
What was she saying?
Cussing at me.
What did she say? I can take it.
That I was a spoiled, the B word. And I said, "No, I'm not." I started getting upset, and I started cussing back at her. I said, "Why don't you just," and I said the F word, "just drop it. Just leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it." And she said that my mouth was worse than my mother's mouth. And I constantly just kept saying, "Lori, F, drop it." I said, "I'm not going to talk to you about this." And she said, come over to my face and say it. And I was like, "No." And I was talking to my grandpa, and we're working in there. She's like, "Well, come on, why don't you say it? Come over here and say it to my face. I'll slap you." And I was approximately this far away from the fence. And I just leaned over, and I said, "F you" to her face. And
put your hands down. I'm listening to her.
And that's when she reached over to try to slap me. I grabbed her arms right here. I may have dug my fingernails into her arms right here. But she was swinging at me, and I had fell over the fence, and I believe I might have caught her shirt. I think that's how her shirt ripped, and it had caught her shirt, but that was it. And then I walked into the house and was proceeding to go to the bathroom because I had blood on my face, which I have
Blood
pictures.
from what?
Her scratches.
Oh, she scratched you in the face.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And so I was going to the bathroom to clean up my face. She had followed me in again and grabbed me right in front of the stereo when we walked in the house. And that's when my husband came in and stood in between us and said, "That's enough. You guys need to knock it off." After I was done cleaning my face, I went back outside to finish helping my grandfather, and she proceeded to get her things and the kids and leave.
The assault that you're referring to are the scratches on your face. Is that right?
Yes.
That was the assault?
Yes.
When did you call the police?
I went to town right after that, right after she left, and went to the courthouse.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I raised my hand as if to slap her.
If to slap her, that's
Listen,
the key point.
she's
I would not slap
she
her.
is not in a mind reader.
And later today,
I moved my daughter out here, and Debbie did not like that. She became very hateful, very belligerent. In fact, she put a restraining order against Julie, and she did nothing.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Customer service rep Lori Lee is suing her niece, 20-year-old student Stormy Nation, for having her falsely arrested for assault. Stormy says Lori scratched her face.
Can I see the copy of the complaint that you filed?
Would you like to see the pictures?
I would.
Those are the complaints, I believe.
Miss Lee, were you arrested on a charge of assault, or is the false arrest that you're talking about really Miss Nation's application for a protective order?
They had a warrant for my arrest.
Can I see the paperwork she has, please? Or minutes. Thank you. Other than this hearing that you went to before a judge for the restraining order, did you go to court for anything else involving this incident?
No.
Okay. The only decision that I have to make today is whether Miss Nation, your niece, whether she was within her rights to go to court and say, I want a protective order against my aunt because this is what she did to me, and she was following me around, and I want her to leave me alone. And Miss Lee, based upon what I've heard from both of you, despite the fact that the court after the hearing dismissed the case because the judge said the evidence suggests that you raised your hand first against her, which you seem to say also in your complaint, that you went to slap her in the face and she caught your hand. That's what you said you did. You went to slap her and she got your hand. It's also clear to me that you probably say to yourself, listen, I'm the grown-up, I'm her aunt, I want to clear this up with my niece. She's not going to get away with, disrespecting me, but she's a grown-up. She's not 10 or 11 years old. You can't put her in a timeout. You can't presume to retrain her if you think that she's not acting properly with you, which is really what you wanted to do. We wanted to clear the air. She didn't want to talk to you. She had an absolute right to file this case. Now, I'll hear you say one final thing, Miss Lee.
I did not slap her. She told me to F you. I had apologized to her. I went out to the yard and I said, Stormy, I am sorry. I do not want to fight with you. And
I told her to come and say that to my face, and she did. I raised my hand as if to slap her.
As if to slap her. That's
Listen,
the key point.
she's
I would not slap
she
her.
is not in a mind reader. You raise your hand in that kind of a heated moment, and she grabbed your hand because she thought you were going to slap her in the face. That's what you said in any event. Miss Lee, she had every right, based upon what happened that day, to file an application for protective order against you. So your case for false arrest is denied. That's all. Step out.
Why is that you may step out?
Jealousy.
Stating that I'm jealous.
The relationship between my grandfather and I.
If anybody's jealousy, it's my sister.
She's angry.
She has her hate.
And she's upset.
That her mother and I feel for each other.
That I was right and she was wrong.
And it's really sad.
Nothing really to do with her anymore.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Young versus Page. Step forward, please.
Baker Vicki Young is suing her ex-boyfriend, machinist David Page, for the return of personal property and mental anguish. David is countersuing, also for the return of property and for defamation of character.
Ms. Young, I gather from your complaint that you and the defendant lived together for 15 or 16 years.
Yes.
You have no children together?
No.
But you had 3 children from previous marriage who, according to Mr. Page, he supported during those 15 years because you were not receiving child support, and he took care of you as a family. Would that be a fair statement?
Yes.
This is your complaint. Your complaint says that there came a time when you had an argument. According to you, he accused you of cheating. According to him, it was something else, and that you were jealous and he couldn't take it anymore. He locked you out of the house, and you claim that he has certain property that is rightfully yours that he will not let you get. So that's what your lawsuit is about.
Yes.
Correct? And you're also suing for mental anguish. I'm not interested in you. If you had enough of him, you should have left him before. You don't get compensated for mental anguish. If he wasn't good to you, you should have packed up your bag and left. Got it?
Right.
Mr. Page says, on the other hand, that you took property from him that you were not entitled to take. He doesn't have any property that belongs to you, and that you defamed his character. He's going to tell me about that, and he wants to be compensated. So when and under what circumstances did you leave it's not the marital home, the cohabitation home, for want of a better word?
August 21st, and it was a Friday morning, about 4:30 in the morning.
So what happened on August 21st?
He was mad at me. I was in bed. He had gotten up, took a shower, came back, and put his forearm down on my neck, pushed my face down into the pillow, and I couldn't breathe, so I had to move the pillow. And he told me that I was out cheating on him the night before, and that he wanted me out, and he wanted me to bring the dogs to the pound. So that day is when I moved, and he pulled my hair a couple times.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What do you want to tell me, sir?
Basically, you're making it sound like this was just a sudden thing. We had problems in the relationship for a long time.
Listen to me. Not Oprah.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Vicki Young says ex-boyfriend David Page attacked her and then kicked her out of their home. David says her story is false, and he's countersuing for defamation of character.
What items do you claim are in the house that belong to you?
Well, a bike jack is one of them. And,
a bike jack?
Yeah.
Do you have her bike jack?
She is in possession of that. That was in the storage unit.
Okay. What's next?
The printer and the fax machine.
Printer and fax machine?
Yes, I do have that.
Okay. Printer and fax machine. She's going to pick that up.
Okay.
Okay. What else?
He does have my truck key. I've asked for my truck
key.
Yeah, the key for my truck
key?
Yes, I do, and she also has a spare key and remote control for my truck.
Okay, will you return that?
Yeah.
Perfect. Could you give that to him, please? And do you have her truck key?
Yes, I do.
Here we go. This is so easy. I'm not even breaking a sweat. Have a sense, Mr. Page, you're just happy to have it over. The exchanging of the keys.
Phew.
What else?
That's the only thing I have proof of.
Perfect. Now, Mr. Page, what do you want to tell me, sir?
Basically, you're making it sound like this was just a sudden thing. We had problems in the relationship for a long time.
Listen to me. Not Oprah. Got it?
Okay, what would you like me to...
I would like to know about your lawsuit, sir.
Okay.
You have a counterclaim.
Yes, when...
You want to tell somebody about your relationship? You go on Oprah.
When she moved out, she moved in with a friend of hers, and I had tried contacting her about some mutual property, and next thing I knew, I was getting a stalking petition against me.
What happened to that stalking petition?
I went to court for it, and her friend never showed up, so it was dismissed from court.
What do you mean her friend? What would her friend
It's her friend she was staying with. She's the one that pulled the stalking order.
Well, then,
okay.
That's not defamation that you can attribute to her.
Well, basically, what happened after that, once this got thrown out of court, the police department at home had told me to try to contact her before going to small claims court about the storage unit. So I tried calling her twice at work after this stalking petition was over, and next thing I know, 2 days later, I get a restraining order. And this time it was her that filed it.
Can I see it?
Yes, you can.
Do you have a copy of the petition that she filed, sir? What charges she made against you?
Yes, basically it's what she had told you, that I had put my arm on her neck. But this was a month and a half later that she filed this restraining order. The day previous to her filing
I got it. What took you so long?
My friend had filed for the restraining order because he was calling her in 6 in the morning.
I'm not interested in your friend. I'm interested in...
Well, I was included on that restraining order, that's why. When she went and filed it, she asked if everybody in the family was included or in her house, and they said yes, so I was included. When she had problems at home with her family and stuff, that she couldn't go to the court date, so it was dismissed. So that's when I filed, because after that he kept calling me at work and harassing people at my work.
Have anything else you want to tell me?
Well, yes. The money I had paid on that storage unit, she locked me out of the unit right after I paid for another month on that storage unit, where I couldn't get a hold of my property out of that unit.
So?
I had some weightlifting equipment that was worth money in there.
Where is it?
Right now it's still in the unit because she only gave me 2 days to get it out once she switched it back to give me access to the unit on October 28th.
So now you have it. You have access to the unit so you can get your weight stuff out?
No, I don't, because she never paid for the other month on that unit. Now I would have to go in and pay another month on that unit to get my property, which I had paid on that unit in September.
How much money are we talking about, sir, for the month?
$68 a month.
$68. After 16 years, $68 is what it's about?
No, actually, I earned 3/4 of the income during that time. I raised her children.
You're
for all those
absolutely right.
years.
I just really want to know if you want me to bother with the $68.
Well, the $68, like I said, that's only a petty thing because that's what I had paid.
It is petty. I'm glad you say it's petty. It is petty. You want me to bother with the $68? Did you lock him out of the storage unit?
I did at one point.
Good. And it's going to cost you $68. On your complaint, you get the printer and the fax to be delivered in a box 5 days. She'll come and pick it up, or she'll come with a police officer to pick it up. How do you want her to deal with that?
He can bring it to my son's house. He knows where they live. Is
that good?
Okay. Yeah.
Fine. Good. Printer and the fax, and you owe him $68 for the storage unit that you locked him out of. That's all. And then he can go pay for the $68 and get his weightlifting equipment. Good. Goodbye. Good luck. Have a happy life.
3 on the calendar in the matter of Tippett versus Coleman. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Mr. Tippett, according to what I've read, you met the defendant in some sort of a chat place on the internet.
Correct.
And then there came a time when you moved into her home.
That's correct.
And it is your claim that she kept and/or sold some of your personal property when she locked you out of the house at some point after an altercation.
That's correct.
Ms. Coleman says that she has none of your personal property, that you were abusive to her, that you choked her, were assaultive. That's the reason you were locked out of the house. And that you did have certain property there, some of which you took, and the rest of it she tried to get you to come and get several times. You didn't come and get the properties. She put it out and she disposed of it. She's counterclaiming for the assault. She's counterclaiming for some rent that she says you owe her, and for storage fees for storing the property that you left behind. That's nonsense. Right. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. When did you move in with her and why, Mr. Tippett?
I moved in on April 7th of this year, 2003. The reason I moved in with her is I was going to be homeless or having to move back in with my mother in Atlanta, Georgia.
Why?
For being unemployed for an extended period of time, and I was writing a book.
Is what you're telling me is that you planned on moving in with Miss Coleman and not paying any money to her?
There was an arrangement for me to pay weekly $70.
Did you have your own room?
No, I slept on the sofa in the living room.
Okay. So now you're living there and you move in on the 7th of April.
Correct.
2003. When did you move out?
Well, I left on the 30th of August. I didn't move on the 30th of August. I was not allowed to get anything.
Well, why don't you tell me what happened?
On the 29th of August, I went out to get some dinner, and when I returned around 8:30, 8:45, the door had been deadbolted from the inside. I knocked on the door, spent 30 minutes outside using cell phone, calling 911 to get assistance to have her open the door to let me in. She refused to open the door, and she refused to open the door because she said I owed her $30, and I had paid her $40 cash that Friday, and the $30 that I did not pay her, I explained to her, was because I had spent $20 filling her car up with gas that Monday, and twice during the week when she had no money, I had loaned her $5 each time for lunch at work. So the reason she barred the door and was not going to let me back in was because I owed her $30.
Did you get any of your property at any time after August 30th?
Well, I stayed the night after the police came and were called after I kicked the door in.
Oh, so you kicked the door in?
Well, I kicked it once and the door opened and it shattered the door jamb. So yes, I kicked the door in.
Were the police with you when you kicked the door in?
Were the police what?
With you?
No.
Well, what happened when you kicked the door in?
Well, I had a burrito that had been going cold for about an hour. I sat down on the sofa and ate it.
What'd she do when you kicked the door in?
She called the police, and I sat and waited and let her know when the police had arrived, and we talked to the police when they got there.
And you stayed the night that night? Is that right?
Yes, I did.
And you left the next day?
Left the next day.
What did you leave?
I left everything.
Like, what's everything?
All of my computer, my bed, most of my clothing, every belonging that I had other than what I could carry in my arms.
Did you ever get your computer?
No, I did not.
Where's his computer?
I had to sell it to pay for glasses after 3 weeks of him not coming back to get it, and I had to have glasses for work, and I had no money to pay for it. That he broke.
How much did you get for
I got $150, and I brought.
What else did you sell?
That's all I sold.
Where's his bed?
The bed is at my apartment. He gave me the bed before he moved in because mine was too short for him to sleep on, and he didn't have a place to store mine.
I thought he was sleeping on the sofa.
He didn't want to sleep on the sofa after he moved in. He wanted me to sleep on the sofa because he worked harder than I did, and the sofa was too short for him.
Did he come back to the house with a police officer to get his other property?
No, we tried to get him to. The lieutenant that investigated the case and he was supposed to have taken his stuff the day he assaulted me. He would not make an effort.
I want you to tell me about the assault, Miss Coleman.
Okay.
He kicked in the door.
Yes, ma'am.
And what happened when he kicked in the door?
He took my cell phone and the home phones and kept them to himself that night so that I could not call the police. This was after the door had been broken down, and it took him 30 minutes to knock down that door with a deadbolt on. It wasn't just one time. He kicked it all, and all the neighbors called the cops. I had 5 sets.
Why had you locked him out?
Because he would not pay rent. I told him the only way you're going to stay with me is if we get your own room, and your name is going to go on the lease, so you're obligated to pay the rent. He would not do that. He said he wasn't going to pay me rent, he wasn't going to pay anything. That I could get a 2-bedroom, but I could pay for it myself. And I had gone to work. He had a job, but he quit it because he didn't want to work. He wanted to write his book, and he wanted me to support him while he did that.
What was the entire rent on the apartment?
$589 actually a month.
That includes all the utilities?
No, ma'am. He had to have cable TV, so we had the cable TV. We had electric. We had phone that he called his mother on. Also, when he moved in, he agreed to go to work and pay me rent. After a month, I had to make him go to work. I called the cops. I wanted him to leave. He would not leave. He said he refused to leave.
Robert Tippett says ex-roommate Sally Coleman owes for the return of his belongings. Sally says she kicked him out because he tried to choke her.
Mr. Tippett, I'm not buying it, sir. I'm not buying it. You kicked in the door. Who did you expect to pay for the door?
Oh, I was quite prepared to pay for the door.
Good, you just did with your computer.
What?
You just did with your computer. Paid for the door that you kicked in.
And also my glasses that he broke during the assault.
Well, tell me about the assault. When was this assault? As far as I heard, he broke down the door and came in and sat down on the couch and ate a burrito.
Right. He told the police that he would leave the next morning. He agreed to. I knew he had a paycheck in his pocket, which he wouldn't share with me as usual. And he said he would get all his stuff the next morning. It was like 11 o'clock the next morning. He still was making no effort to leave. I started putting his stuff on the couch. I said, okay, get your stuff. Get out of my house. He wouldn't make any effort. So I started to take his stuff out and put it on the porch. He grabbed me by the hair, slung me around, slung me on the floor, put his arm around my neck, tried to choke me until I almost fainted. Then he pulled me up off the floor by the hair on the back of my head and told me he was going to kill me for what I'd done to him.
Is that right, Mr. Tippett?
No, that's complete fabrication, Your Honor.
Really? I mean, none of this happened.
I have
Your
a
Honor,
police
this
report.
woman is a liar, and she has a history of doing things that prove that she's a liar.
Mr. Tippett,
As this evidence shows right here that I owed her nothing. This is where I went down and paid the Fort Worth court $309.98 just a couple of weeks before this event even occurred.
Yes.
That's why she had no money, and I loaned her $10.
For what?
That was for writing bad checks, and she called me several times during the day on that day and said that she was going to be arrested for not being able to pay that $309.98.
That was my money. He got my paycheck and took it down there to pay because he
That's a
wasn't
lie,
working,
Your Honor.
and I couldn't
That's
get
a
off
lie.
work to go.
That is a receipt that has my name on it.
I know it has your name on it. She said it was her money. Where'd you get $309.98 from?
That was money that I had.
From where?
From work.
What work? You told me you didn't have a job.
I never told you that. I was an independent contractor for a local courier service in Dallas-Fort Worth area. I worked it was 5 to 6 days a week from 8 till 5.
Mr. Tippett, Mr. Tippett, don't think so. Who are you?
A friend of Robert's.
Is he living with you now?
No.
Good.
I have a...
Shh. Stand up. How long have you been his friend?
Since September, the mid-September of this year.
Of this year?
Correct.
Then you know nothing.
Okay.
Sit down. Except for one thing. How many days a week was he working starting in mid-September?
He started work in, I think it was right at the beginning of October.
Thank you. Sit down.
You're welcome.
Happy. Your computer paid for the kick-down door. Listen to me very carefully. Is he out of your life?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you change the locks?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Goodbye. Have a happy life. Don't take anybody into your home that you met on the internet. You understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Goodbye. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He was so hostile to me that I couldn't stand to leave. I was afraid of him.
That's total fabrication.
The final straw was when he kicked down my door and assaulted me.
I kicked the door in. That's all I did.
Live by myself the rest of my life.
Get a dog.
Airplane enthusiast John Gustafson is suing Randy Stark for the cost of a remote control airplane. John says Randy won't return a plane that crashed in his yard.
This is case number 337 on the calendar in the matter of Gustafson versus Stark. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Gustafson, I've read your complaint, and I assume from reading your complaint that you have a hobby.
Yes, ma'am.
And your hobby is flying model planes.
Radio-controlled planes, yes.
And they're large. Is that...
Some are, yes.
Are those the pieces of the plane that fell on the defendant's property?
Yes, it does look like that, yes.
Okay. So they're large?
Yes.
I see the picture. Your complaint is that one of these planes, I assume that one, fell on Mr. Stark's property, and he refuses to return the pieces to you. And the pieces of the plane, although it doesn't look as if it can be repaired, can be put back together again. It's an expensive hobby. It's an expensive piece of equipment. And you're suing him for $500 and some odd or the return of your plane.
That's correct.
Mr. Stark says you've been a nuisance. You and your entire flying club have been a nuisance for a long time. He has property. He can't enjoy the use of his property because of your planes. He's asked you not to fly the planes over his property. There are other places that you can fly them, and he has no intention of returning your plane to you, and he is counterclaiming in the same amount as your claim for harassment, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long, Mr. Gustafson, have you been flying these model planes?
12 years, ma'am.
And how far do you live from Mr. Stark's property?
About 7 miles.
So you travel to the area of Mr.
Yes.
Stark's property in order to fly your planes?
That is correct. That is a flying site the city has provided us.
What do you mean the city has provided you with the flying?
The city has leased us the land over an old landfill.
Surrounding that landfill, you have property. Some of the property belongs to the Starks, and I assume there's other property around the landfill. Who does that belong to?
Various people there. I think there's 7 or 8 homes.
Is there any vacant land there?
But beyond the site is a national refuge. So we're flying on the on the border, at least a portion of the site is located
So
landfill.
you have the ability to fly your planes, since they're radio controlled, over the National Refuge.
No, we don't.
Why is that?
We can only fly the planes where we can see them. If you can't see it, you can't control the plane. And so we generally fly over the 80 acres of land that the city has provided us.
And Mr. Stark's property is beyond those 80 acres?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, how many times, to your knowledge, have your planes gone beyond the 80 acres onto Mr. Stark's property?
My planes?
Any of the planes belonging to your flying club?
I would suspect that there were a number of times that planes have flown over his property.
How many times have the planes crashed on his property?
Only one that I know of, mine specifically.
Is that correct?
No, ma'am.
How many times have planes crashed on your property?
In approximately 5 years, 4, Your Honor.
How do you know they crashed on your property?
They would come over trying to look for their planes.
Who lives on your property?
My wife and myself.
Just the two of you?
Yes, ma'am.
When did this plane crash on the Starks' property?
July 28th of this year.
Was this the first time you had had any contact with Mr. Stark?
No.
When for the first time did you have contact with Mr. Stark?
He came onto our flying site about 3 years ago, taking pictures of the fellows that were flying.
Did he ever register a complaint to you with regard to flying over his property?
No, ma'am, he did not.
Is that correct?
No, Your Honor.
You've registered a complaint to Mr. Gustafson?
To the Model Airplane Flying Club, Your Honor.
May I see that complaint?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, this letter is dated May 9th, 2001. It's to Mr. who I assume is the president of your flying club.
Yes, Your Honor.
And it seems to indicate that there's been an ongoing problem with planes flying over the Starks' property, that they've tried to resolve the matter because these planes buzz their house as they come over the property. And somebody called the police alleging that the Starks, or Mr. Stark, was shooting at the planes. And the biggest problem with that accusation, according to this letter, is that they don't even own a gun. And this letter is to serve as notice that the next time one of your planes flies over their property, legal action will be taken. Also, this letter is to serve as notice that no one who is participating in any activity of the flying club is allowed to come on the Stark's property to retrieve any plane or other item that lands on his property as a result of a plane flying overhead. Lastly, my clients will treat any article that comes onto their property illegally as litter. Now, I assume, Mr. Gustafson, that you received a copy of this letter, as did everyone else in the flying club.
I think we were.
Of course
I don't
you were.
recall it.
Of course you were, because that's what Mr. Blair would have done. He would have sent this out. He would have said, listen, I don't think that he has a leg to stand on, but he's had an attorney send us this letter. Nothing happened as a result of this letter, I assume.
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, Mr. Gustafson, on the 28th of July, you're flying your plane and it crashed on their property.
That is correct.
You went over to get the plane?
I did not. We had to locate it first. We noted then that it was on Mr. Stark's property. Knowing that we couldn't go on there...
well, you knew that then as a result of this letter?
Yes.
So you do remember getting the letter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Decided that we would call the police to get an escort to the property. And Mr. Stark, I apologized for the incident. I told him that I was insured. If there was any damage, I would take care of that. There was no damage. He said he would keep the plane.
That's what he said he was going to do?
Yep.
Do you fly over anybody else's home?
I don't believe so.
Why do you pick Mr. Stark's home to fly over, sir?
His home is located where, from a safety standpoint, when we are bringing the planes around, it occasionally could go over the house.
Listen to me, sir. Whose safety?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Right there, Your Honor, there's the divot that was put in my property by the nose of the airplane.
If that went into somebody's head, Mr. Gustafson, it would have killed him.
Yes, ma'am.
Real cases, real people, Judge Judy. Model airplane enthusiast John Gustafson says Randy Stark won't return his remote control airplane. Randy says the plane crashed in his yard and he's keeping it.
You got a permit from what county to give you this landfill site?
From the city of Decatur.
And why do you think that they didn't give you a site in downtown Decatur?
Well, they actually replaced a site that we did have down there.
Why do you think that they didn't give you a site in downtown
To move away
Decatur?
move away from people.
That's right,
Right.
Mr. Gustafson, because something that's that size and metal, if it lands and it goes out of control, could cut somebody's head off.
Yes, ma'am.
Can maim somebody, so that the city of Decatur says if you want to fly your planes, which is fun, you go out where there's just a lot of old garbage. We understand each other?
Yes.
That's fine. If you find, Mr. Gustafson, that you can't safely land your plane within those 80 acres, go someplace else. Why are you annoying these people? They have a right to peacefully enjoy their property. And I really think it's pretty obnoxious. You've chosen the safety of your plane over the safety of the Starks, you and the other members of your flying club. Because there are other homes there. Well, we don't fly over the other homes because it's a safety issue, not a safety issue for any of our members. It's a safety issue for our metal. Well, they're out doing gardening in their house, and all of a sudden this thing comes crashing down. Fortunately, it has not hurt them. Why do they have to wait until it hurts them? They can be having a party at their house. They can have children playing outside. They have to worry that somebody is going to be injured by one of these things that's falling out of the sky. That's outrageous. Okay? That is my common sense and emotional response. Having said that, let us assume, Mr. Stark, that somebody loses control of a car that they've been driving up and down a road near your home.
Yes, ma'am.
And you put them on notice. Don't drive, don't speed in front of my house. And this car comes careening up your driveway, up your front lawn, and into your living room. You think you can keep the car?
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
You got what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, you have a counterclaim.
Yes, ma'am.
And your counterclaim is for harassment.
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
I'm going to hear you about that harassment.
Okay. Your Honor, I have a tape here showing the loudness of the airplanes when they come on my property, and also the tape of the plane actually crashing on my property.
I'd like to see it.
Right there, Your Honor, there's the divot that was put in my property by the nose of the airplane.
If that went into somebody's head, Mr. Gustafson, it would have killed him. You see, he has no choice, sir. He lives there. You have a choice. You have a choice to exercise your right to enjoy your hobby in a situation that is not dangerous to anybody else. This is potentially dangerous to the Starks. So I am totally unsympathetic with your position. Totally. I also know from a legal perspective, that is his property if he wants it back. But it's going to cost you a whole lot of money, sir, to get it back. You understand? Because I believe that the Starks have a case based upon that, and based upon what everybody knows about these things that make a lot of noise. They're big things. You were certainly given a piece of property to fly over. If that piece of property wasn't big enough, ask Decatur to give you a bigger piece of property. In the meantime, you have no use for that. Is that right?
No, ma'am.
Good. You can have it back. It's going to cost you $2,500. You want it back?
Yes.
You got it. He gets the piece on your counterclaim. judgment for $2,500. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I spent 8 years assembling the plane that crashed. Probably had $800 in it, and 12 minutes of flying time.
Basically, they just kept harassing me, and I couldn't get any relief, so I had no other choice but to hire us.
That was a contest that was scheduled, and they knew it was coming, and the cameras were there and ready.
I went from a nighttime job to a daytime job because I couldn't get no sleep.
I see Judge Judy's point. I think she probably did a valid job.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Jaramillo versus Adamo. Step forward, please.
Administrative Assistant Catherine Jaramillo is suing the mother of her daughter's ex-boyfriend, medical transcriber Barbara Adamo, for a loan to catch up on her bills.
Ms. Jaramillo, according to what I've read in your complaint, your daughter and the defendant's son used to date.
Yes.
And that's how you knew her?
Yes.
How long did they date?
About 3 years.
And Ms. Adamo at some point had some financial difficulties. You claim a series of loans to her, loans amounting to $2,950.
Yes.
The kids are no longer an item, they're no longer together. Ms. Adamo says that while maybe she acknowledges one loan to help her pay her rent, she'd never received any other money from you. And in addition, she says that there was some sort of a set-off for that rent money, which she's going to tell me about. When and why did you make the first loan?
My daughter came to me and said, you know, can you help her out a little bit? They don't have any food in their house. Both of her sons were living there at the time. She had 4 kids there at the time. And they didn't have any groceries, and she didn't have any money. So I said, sure. So I gave my daughter $100 to take over there so that she could go grocery shopping.
Okay. That's not a loan.
Right.
That's
right.
a gift.
Right, I understand that.
Okay. Did she call you and thank you?
Yes, she did.
Tell me about that conversation.
She just said that she was always out of money, that she was having to go to check cashing places and get payday advances, that no one had ever really sat down and taught her how to pay her bills or how to budget her money. And I told her that I could help her do that because I, too, am a single mom with 3 kids. So we sat down and we wrote down everything she owed, all of her regular monthly bills, a few outstanding debts that she had, how much she made, how much she was capable of making, because if she works more, she can make more. And
what kind of work were you doing, Ms. Adamo?
I do medical transcription.
You are an independent contractor?
No. I work at a hospital, but I have incentive. Anything over 1,000 lines a day, we get an additional 7.5 cents per line.
So you sat down with her. Do you remember when that was?
It was in November.
It was in December of 2003.
Okay. Go ahead.
In December of 2003, I asked her if she would help me with my budgeting. So she said, yes, I will help you because she's really good with money. And so I went to her house and we sat down and we put all the bills on the table and we went through the whole thing. And she said to me, tomorrow I'm going to go and get a money order for $1,350 and you're going to take it and pay your rent with it. And I said, wait, Kathy, I don't know when I can pay back $1,350.
Well, your rent was due. How were you going to pay your rent?
I didn't know at that point.
Well, you had to, just Ms. Adamo, you had to pay your rent.
Right. So she gave me the money order for $1,350 a day later.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what arrangements did you make to pay her back?
We had no arrangements at that point. She said we'd talk about it after the holidays. That's what she said to me.
Just a second. You mean she said we would talk about how you were going to pay her back after the holidays?
After the holidays.
So it was a loan?
Yes. Oh, it was a loan. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I wasn't clear on that.
No, it was a loan.
Fine.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Well, you must have a bank statement if you say you withdrew money.
I didn't ever think that I would need them.
Well, you need them when you come to court.
Right.
That's a no-brainer.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Catherine Jaramillo says former friend Barbara Adamo owes for a loan to pay bills.
Now, did the plaintiff's daughter give you $100 for groceries?
Yes, she did.
When?
Probably in November. That was before the $1,350.
Now, when was the second amount of money that you gave her?
The same day as the money order. I had my daughter go down to the bank and get the cash out.
For what?
Because when we sat down and we wrote down all of her bills, everything that she owed, I told her that I could loan her the money to pay all of this off so that she could start fresh. And she said that every year she got a really big tax check and that it would be February, March, and that she would be able to pay me back all of this. I completely wiped out all of her debt. She's never disputed that she's owed me this money until today.
Just a minute. How much did you give her in addition to the $1,350?
I gave her $600.
Is that right, Ms. Adamo?
That's not right.
How much did she give you?
The only cash she ever gave me was the $100 in November, and then I received a money order for $1,350. I never ever received any more cash after that point, ever.
Okay. Let us assume for the moment, just other than the $1,350 and what you claim is a $600 cash loan, is there any other money that you loaned her?
Yes, I gave her $600 right before Christmas because they didn't have a tree. She wasn't going to be able to get the kids anything.
Do you have any proof of that?
No, I do not.
Well, you must have a bank statement if you say you withdrew money.
We no longer have those. I didn't ever think that I would need them.
Well, you need them when you come to court.
Right.
And you knew you were coming. Shh, listen to me. And you knew you were coming to court.
Right.
So it's very easy to call the bank and say, get me a duplicate statement. Right?
Right.
That's a no-brainer. Okay. $1,350. Let's go.
Okay. And then my son graduated from boot camp, and I took Andy and her daughter, which she was supposed to reimburse me for that trip, which I have plane tickets and stuff, and that was supposed to come off the $1,350 that I owed her. And all of this was verbal. We never wrote anything down because we were friends at the time. I was very grateful for what she had done for me.
So you should have paid her back.
Yes.
And you still should pay her back.
Well, I did.
You explained to me how you paid her back. And give me the whole story. You were going to visit your son.
Yes.
And at that time, your son and her daughter were an item.
Correct.
And your son wanted you to bring his girlfriend.
Actually,
look, your son wanted you to bring his girlfriend.
Yes, he wanted to see her.
Right. And she said, let me just speculate. She said, she's not going. I don't have the money for her to go.
No, that's not what she said. As a matter of fact, I asked the daughter not to go because at that point I thought I was only going to have 5 hours to spend with my son because right after graduation he was being sent to Florida.
According to your answer, madam, you said, I spoke to Kathy and she said she wasn't willing to pay for the expenses for Andy and her friend. That's what you swore to in your answer.
Right. So we were supposed to take it out of the $1,350. She wasn't supposed to give me the money. That's what we did. That's what we agreed upon.
Go ahead.
That is simply not true. My daughter was going to go see her boyfriend graduate. I paid for the trip. That was her birthday present for me. She bought the tickets online. I went over there and took her the cash for the tickets.
Well,
I paid for her
you,
trip, plus I gave her money to spend while she was there.
Let me ask you this question. Why would you give her money if she owed you all this money?
Because she wouldn't have the money to buy the tickets, and I wanted my daughter to go. She wanted to go. She did not want my daughter to go.
I didn't want her to go because of the fact that we only had a couple hours. So I asked her, let me just spend those few hours with my son. I've only got 5 hours with him. She threw such a fit. And Andy did. Her daughter threw such a fit.
Her daughter did. And what about your son?
My son understood that I only had the 5 hours at that point. At first, he did want her to go.
Listen to me. Your son wanted his girlfriend there.
Of course he did.
Your son wanted his girlfriend.
Of course
It's
he
very
did.
nice to see his mother.
Absolutely.
Mother, I want to see my girlfriend.
Right.
If my mother brings my girlfriend, I'd be happy to see my mother.
Right.
But put your hand down. But if I had to choose, you said my girlfriend, and you can write me a long letter. All right, you owe her $1,350. That's what I'm satisfied she gave you as far as a loan is concerned. As far as the rest of the cash that you gave her, I'm not comfortable with awarding her that cash because you had the opportunity to have proof here before me that you did, in fact, at least take the money out of the bank. You chose, that was a conscious choice not to do that. And I don't believe that there was any sort of a set-off for these plane tickets. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,350. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Johnson's case number 470 on the calendar in the matter of Terrietta versus Coleman. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have a seat.
Ms. Terrietta, this is your mom.
Yes.
And you're suing her for a couple of things. First, you were living with her and her boyfriend. I assume this is the boyfriend?
Yes, it is.
For a while. You and your husband?
Yes.
And children?
My baby.
Your
my
baby?
6-month-old son.
Child. And there was some sort of a disagreement, a dispute. You left the house and you claim that your mother still has some of your property.
Yes.
That's one. And two, you claim that your mother falsely reported to the police that you had stolen a credit card from her.
Correct.
And you were arrested.
Yes.
Your mom says that she has none of your property, and I don't understand her defense with regard to the credit card. Is what you're saying, Ms. Coleman, that you didn't call the police, but your boyfriend called the police?
Exactly.
Okay. Now, when did you and your husband and baby move in with your mother?
April 2004.
Why?
My mom didn't raise me. My father raised me from when I was 3 and my brother was 1 in New York. And I talked to my mom maybe 3 or 4 times a year for my whole life. She asked us to come there and come visit her, so I brought my son and we came to visit. I visited for about a month, and she said, why don't you come here with...
Well, what was your husband doing when you were visiting for
He was
a month?
still at work in North Carolina, where I'm from.
Okay, go ahead.
And then we were there for about a month, and John had come to visit 2 weekends, and she said, you should come here, save up all of your money, live with us, and you can save up enough money and get a house and come live here. So we did.
Where is here?
To Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay.
And things were pretty normal and good for a little while.
Did your husband find a job?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
And I got a job at the end of August. After that, I think things went downhill from there. She was watching my son while I was going to work, and he had diaper rash almost every week to the point where his butt was bleeding, and I had to fix it every weekend.
Can you tell me on what day you moved out?
October 16th.
Had there been an argument?
Yes.
About what?
They came home, they had been drinking. My brother was back from Iraq with his wife, and they came into the house and they were stomping and slamming doors and screaming. And I asked my brother, I was like, can you be quiet? My son is sleeping. And he stood up and he was like, I don't have to be quiet, I don't have to do anything. And then Ron came up behind him and he was like, this is my house and this is my rules, and if you don't like it, you can get out. And he was screaming and acting like a psycho, so I went and got my husband. And he got in my husband's face and tried to start a fight with him and said, come on, big boy, come on, big boy. You want to do something?
I got it. So things were, so you left that night?
Yes. And she came into my bedroom and she brought her purse with her. She took out her wallet and she opened it up and she went to looking through her credit cards and she went to give me the black one that I use sometimes, and then she goes, oh, you have my GM card, why don't you just use that one? Get a week at the hotel, and I'll get you somewhere to live. At the end of the week, I'll get you somewhere to live.
Well, why would she get you somewhere to live if you were working and your husband was working?
Because she felt bad because we had moved there.
You had the credit card?
Correct.
Ms. Coleman, how did she get the credit card?
She had it. She was going to obtain some Barbie dolls for me at her job.
She gave it to me.
Just a second. When did you give her your credit card?
Probably 2 weeks prior to her leaving the house.
Does that sound familiar to you?
She gave me the card almost every day, all the time, for gas, cigarettes, everything.
How many times did she use the credit card? If I were to look at the slips from the credit card company, how many times before October had she used the credit card?
Probably about 6.
And would you give it to her each time, or was it in her possession?
Usually.
Not usually. Was it in her possession?
She kept it. She kept it. She kept it.
She kept it?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I'm going to get to the truth.
Yes,
you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I would like to see the police report that was filled out with regard to the credit card. Well, first of all, Mrs. Coleman, you filled out this police report. This is in your handwriting.
Yes, they made me.
Nobody makes you do anything, and you say here that she used it without my knowledge or permission.
Right.
Who made you? Your boyfriend?
No, when the sheriff came to the house.
Why did the sheriff come to the house?
Because he had checked our account online, and she had used
Who
it.
had?
My husband.
Yeah.
And she had used it at the motel room, charging $309. She went 3 different times in a matter of hours to the Meijer at the bottom of the hill and went on a shopping spree. Okay.
And so charged what?
Energy drinks, men's boxer shorts, women's bras, conditioner, shampoos, all the stuff that she brought the policeman to the house to get that night.
Miss Coleman, I don't understand something, madam. I mean, I hear you talking about all the things that she charged on this. You're not talking about a lot of money. They all look like emergency things that one would use if they were staying temporarily someplace that they needed interimly, especially when you have a baby.
Right.
And you knew she had the card, and she had had the card before.
Right.
Don't you think the smarter idea, rather than involving the police in this, was after you went online and saw that she had charged the hotel room and charged the other thing, to call the credit card company and say, listen, my daughter has the card. She's not authorized to use it anymore. I want to stop the use of the card. Do not let it be used again.
Prior to this, she had went to my salon and was mad at her husband, charged $680 worth of tanning products. My husband and her had gotten to a confrontation over it, and he told her, you are not allowed to use this credit card unless your mother gives you permission. He said, because if you use this without my knowledge, he said, I will file a complaint on you.
Don't you think that it would have been smarter, more maternal, if you say to whatever his first name is, Joe, she's my daughter, she left the house, she's got my grandson with her, we don't want her to use the card anymore, just call the company and tell them, shut off the card. I don't want to involve the police, I don't want her to be arrested. Did you say that to him?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did he say?
Well, he said that he had already told her that she was not allowed to use it. And before she brought it back, minutes before she came to my house with the policeman standing there, she stopped and got a pack of cigarettes at the corner store.
You think he did the right thing?
No, ma'am.
You think you did the right thing?
Yes.
You did the wrong thing. Then stand to me. You're not blood. And what you did was irrevocably injure, if it hadn't been before, her relationship with her daughter. If you didn't want her to have the credit card, you should have taken it back.
We attempted to take it back.
No. Your girlfriend says that you told her you can hold on to it, but if you use it again without your mother's permission or my permission, I'm going to call the police. And I'm saying, is she lying to me?
No.
Well, and I'm saying to you, if you didn't want the temptation there, you should have taken the credit card back. But you don't put her in a situation where she's got a baby and the police come to the motel and take her away and arrest her. That can stop a process going from which it's very hard to extricate yourself. Very stupid. But they were entitled to do it. And I somehow think that your mother is sorry that it happened. She's sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
I know.
You got it?
I know.
Okay. What does your mother have in the house that belongs to you?
I have pictures of some of this stuff, and then I wrote a list of all the things
Let
that
me
she
see it.
has. And I called her and asked for his high chair, and she said, when I was in the hotel, because I said he was eating on the bed, and she said, well, he needs his high chair. And I said, I want my caricature and the calendar of him that I've been making of him since I was born. And she said, you know, I don't think I have those things. All I want is some respect. And she said, Ron's going to take care of it from here, and threw the phone down.
Okay. You have these things?
I see she showed you a little picture of a toy box that Nicholas is in. That's mine. I bought everything that she's talking about, and I have receipts. I have $10,000 worth of receipts. Mr. Turietti was asked if he had got everything out. He said, yes, he did. He looked at me and said, all's in there is garbage. I can go down to my job, get a truck, come up and throw all that garbage away if you want me to. I said, don't worry about it, John.
Step
I'll
up,
clean
sir.
it up.
Did you go to the house?
Yes, Your Honor. I went on...
With or
Monday
without the police?
With the police.
Fine.
And before we walked in, they wouldn't let us in the house until they had the credit card and the key to the tanning salon. She had to come up from the hotel. We gave them back the credit card, but we are not allowed to go anywhere in the house except the bedroom. Our stuff was in the basement, in another closet.
There's a lot of junk here.
Yes, Your Honor.
All of this doesn't add up to the motel room, right?
Right.
So what are you doing here?
I want the calendar that I've been making of my son since he was born. There's no, you cannot put a price on that. I put pictures of
Okay,
them.
do you have the calendar?
No, ma'am. And if it wasn't all that garbage, and what I had done was bought cases
Do you have
of
the
Pampers.
calendar? The
No,
answer is
ma'am.
no. She doesn't have the calendar.
That's just to hurt me. That's just to keep things from me that are
She
of
doesn't
my
have
son's.
it. Listen, you used a credit card, and I think that you probably knew that you weren't supposed to use the credit card at the time when you used it, whether you did or whether you didn't. What he had to pay for as a result of your using the credit card is more than this.
They didn't pay for anything. That's why my case was dismissed on January 21st, because they could not provide the receipts because they didn't pay the bill.
Oh, really?
Really.
Is that right?
You would have to ask Ron about that. We did pay. The reason it was dropped is I'm going through some cancer treatments. I didn't feel like going to, I couldn't. I was throwing up.
All I want to know is, did you pay for the motel?
We've reported it to the credit card company
They did.
as a misuse of the credit card.
So the answer is you didn't.
No.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
She said that there's no need to make the payments now that the car's wrecked. So she told
No,
me.
you just made that up as you're going.
No, ma'am.
Did you say that to him?
No, I did not.
That's not what you wrote in your complaint, sir.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Beatrice Turrieta says her mother, Beatrice Coleman, had her falsely arrested for credit card theft. Beatrice says her mother gave her that card.
You bought certain things for your grandson. Toy box?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. High chair?
No, ma'am. I don't have the toy, but I didn't. Oh, that's a walker, yes. But I don't have that. They have that.
Yeah.
But this you have?
Yes, ma'am.
You want this?
I don't have that other thing.
Just listen to me. Do you want this?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You have any problem with them having that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. If you want to go over there in the company of a peace officer within 5 days, you can get those things. Understood?
Understood.
Very good. Thank you very much. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I was born to that, who I haven't seen since I was 3, and I will never see again.
I would have still give her the $3,000 if that's what she wanted.
She's not a mother. She doesn't know how to be a mother. She never will be a mother.
When she came to my house, she asked my husband where his connection was for cocaine. So I'm sure that's probably what she needed it for. Either that or a gallon of Captain Morgan every week.
I do like Captain Morgan, but I'm a little fat to be on the coke. You think?
She's been in prison before for
Sponsor,
welfare
actually.
fraud.
I was in jail. I wasn't, and I've made mistakes in my life.
My dad told me I was selling my soul to the devil when I came to her house, and he was right.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Balloonist versus White. Step forward, please.
Executive search consultant David Balloonist is suing his former employee, 23-year-old waitress Erin White, for an unpaid loan to buy a car. Erin says David gave her the money with the hopes of having a relationship.
Mr. Balloonist, you claim a loan to the defendant for a car.
Correct.
And she said there was never a loan, that you made a gift to her of this money for the car. And in addition to that, she says that she did some work for you. How do you know her?
We had met when I was working on one of my rental properties. Erin approached me and asked if she could help out on some of the properties in order to supplement her income.
Help out doing what?
Painting, cleaning, wallpapering.
What kind of rental properties do you have?
I have townhomes, condominiums, and some single-family homes.
And did she do any work for you?
Yes, she did.
When did she start to do work for you?
She began work someplace in the neighborhood of 7903.
Tell me about the car loan.
The car loan is something that she requested of me. I know she had a difficult time getting around town, and she first approached me and asked for a loan for $2,000, saying she didn't have quite enough to be able to buy the car. And then in the next conversation, she came to the office and said, "Can you make it $2,500?"
And when was that, sir?
That was the day that I wrote the check, which would have been August the 21st of this year.
So she had already been doing work for you since July
Correct.
and been paid.
Correct.
So you gave her a check for $2,500. What was the agreement as far as repayment?
A repayment I had actually, because Erin, at least at that time, said she was interested in doing more work. I thought my downside risk was somewhat limited, and she seemed like a reasonable person. So I had her sign a promissory note as well as an amortization schedule.
Can I see it, please?
Yes.
Okay.
May I also see that, please?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
On the money that I had borrowed from Mr. Balloonist, there was a period of time that was for about a week and a half before I had asked for the money from him, which I was not paid. When I had gone back through, recaulked things, done my final cleaning, I had waxed down the cabinets, scrubbed the hardwood floors, which was, I feel, as far as $2,500 was payment for the work that I had done that week.
I didn't understand the word you just said. Is what you're trying to tell me?
As far as the
I'm
$2,500.
speaking.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
A loan, as far as me working it off or me giving him, is the same thing.
No, that's
Yes,
not
it
true.
is. Well, to me,
No,
it
no,
is. Yes.
No, no, no.
Yes.
Dear, listen to me.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. David Baluna says former employee Aaron White owes for an unpaid car loan. Aaron says David was trying to buy her affections.
Ms. White, is what you're telling me that after you received this loan, which you now acknowledge was a loan, is that right?
As far as a loan, yes. You asked me a question.
No, I
Was
didn't
it a
ask you.
loan?
No, listen to me. Listen to me, Miss White. What happened was you said, "May I see that?"
Correct.
And I said yes. And I handed it to you, and then you started to speak. I didn't ask you any question at all. But since you did volunteer to speak,
okay,
I want to try to understand what you're telling me now.
Okay.
You did use the word when I took the loan from Mr. Balunas.
Right.
For $2,500, I then went back to the condominiums and did some caulking and did some cleaning down of cabinets and did some polishing, and that was to be used towards this $2,500 loan?
No, ma'am.
Oh, well, then you want to explain it to me? Okay. Let's start out with, there was therefore, Bert, can I have that?
Sure.
There was therefore a loan for $2,500.
Correct.
Good. Now, I say this because I've read your answer very carefully that you swore to.
Right.
And in your answer, you never say that there was a loan. In your answer, you say, the money the plaintiff is asking for is money he willingly gave me to buy a car. I compensated him through work that I did. And then, of course, you say that the reason he gave you this money was because he wanted more of a social relationship than anything else. That's what you also claim in here. But nothing in here, you don't acknowledge a loan in any way.
May I speak?
And you also say here, I never signed an agreement to pay him anything.
Okay, may I speak now to try to counteract with what you're saying? The paper that I signed, if it was a loan or not, a loan may mean advancement of either the money as far as I can work off to pay you back the loan, or I can give you money for back the loan. As far as me working it off or me giving him, it's the same thing.
No, that's
yes,
not
it
true.
Is. Well, to me,
no,
it
no,
is.
no.
Yes.
No, no, no.
Yes.
Here, listen to me. If you sign an agreement that gives you a loan schedule, then what you do is have an accounting of, well, after I took out this loan and the September payment was due, I didn't give him a September payment, but I did caulking, painting, papering in the amount of $570. Deducting that from the loan, you sign it, he signs it, and you deduct it.
But that's not what that was.
Well, then now you can explain it.
Okay. The money, I had asked Mr. Blunis for a loan, but prior to when he gave me the loan, there was a period of time which he hadn't paid me. I have two of my checks. He would give me paychecks, made stubs. You know, I would get copies of the checks every time I cashed them. But I had never gotten from that week. And for about a week, he was paying me around $600 a week.
Ms. White, is
to do my
what you're
work.
suggesting to me that before he gave you this money, you had worked for him and he hadn't compensated you?
Right.
That's bull.
Whatever.
Because you are an intelligent, articulate woman. And as an intelligent, articulate woman, you would never have signed a loan agreement that said that you owed him this money plus 8% interest. You would have said, well, before I'm speaking. Before I sign this, let's deduct what you owe me. So instead of $2,500, I worked for you for this week and that week, and you hadn't paid me, so that I only owe you $1,600. And you would not have signed a payment schedule for him.
I didn't know that's what I signed. I was in a hurry to leave, so I kind of just ran through and signed my name on the things, knowing that I was going to work off the money to him.
Is this a witness for anything?
Yes.
To what?
To the fact that he knows how many times I tried to contact Mr. Blunis, I could get no answer. The lady that rents from Mr. Blunis...
Just contact him for what?
He said I'd had a hard time getting... that I never called him back. I did try to call him back. I left messages with his office. I mean, I can't go pay off
for
the
what?
money.
You didn't say anything about not calling him back.
But I'm supposed to be... This is my only means of money at that time. I had no job but him. So
then what you're telling... Listen to me.
Other than by my labor.
You don't want to say anything, do you?
Well...
You want to say...
Yeah,
listen to you. You want to say something? Are you sure you want to say something?
Possibly.
You sure?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for you. Go ahead.
I just wanted to make the statement that she was supposed to my knowledge, was supposed to work off the money that he gave her. It was supposed to be in where he loaned her the money and she did work for his company, and he was going to deduct that from the payment.
Thank you very much. Sit down.
All right.
May I say something else?
Let me explain something to you, sir. That's not what she just told me. What she just told me was that she had already worked for him and he hadn't paid her.
That's also it.
Just a second. She had already done work for him and he hadn't paid her. And a big chunk of this money was for money that he already owed her. Are you following me?
I'm following you. It was supposed
Good!
All right, well, you don't have to scream. I'm just saying.
Well, I don't know why you're here.
Well, cause I'm being a witness, that's why.
Well, you have nothing important to say.
Okay,
Judgment for
what
the
else?
plaintiff in the amount of $2,500. Pay your bills.
Parties are excused. 7 on the calendar in the matter of Garner versus Carr. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Garner, the defendant is your sister. Is
Yes,
that right?
ma'am.
And according to what I read, your sister sold you some sort of a exercise set.
A weight machine that wasn't all there, Your Honor.
She sold you a weight set.
Yes.
It was a used weight set.
Yes, ma'am.
She sold it to you for $200.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you eventually put it all together, you found, according to you, pieces missing. You want to return the weight set to your sister and get your money back. Correct. Not only do you want your $200 back that you paid for it, but you want an additional $1,300 for your mental distress. Your sister says that you had the weight set for a long time. You bought it as is, and she's not giving you your money back. Anybody have a picture of this weight set?
I do, Your Honor.
I'd like to see it, please.
I have a picture of the weight machine that we could not put together because all the poles weren't there that hold the weight machine
Listen
together.
to me. You'll have a chance.
Okay.
What does it do?
I'm
just looking at this.
Absolutely nothing right now because it can't go together. But it's for working out. It has the different...
It's the whole weight machine all around. It's got the biceps.
The home gym.
It's a whole full home gym.
Okay. When did you purchase this?
I believe we purchased it around February. We gave her the money for it.
February of this year?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you take possession of it?
March or April.
March or April.
Was it March or was it April?
We'll say April.
Yeah.
And when did you give her the money for it?
Probably February.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you selling this for any particular reason?
We had a daughter who's in Children's Hospital for a long time, and I wasn't working, so I was pretty much having to sell everything I owned to help him pay the bills while I was staying in Little Rock.
Okay. Who used the weight machine in your house?
Nobody. It was in a storage building.
How long had it been in storage?
About 2 years.
Was it in a box or was it set up?
No, ma'am. It was just in pieces in the storage building.
Is that the way it was when your sister saw it?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
I didn't see it in her storage building until her and I began to load it into the truck ourselves.
But when you saw
the last time I saw it, it was put together in her house in Texas, I believe.
It's a couple of years ago.
Yes, ma'am.
Several.
But when you saw it, when you were purchasing it,
I knew she had the machine. She told me that I could purchase it for $250. I said, well, we'll pay you $200. She said, okay, I need the money. And I never saw it before I told her I'd purchase it. She said it was in the storage. She needed it out. She needed the space. And I said, well, if it's usable, sure, I'll take it for $200.
When did you put it together?
Probably in June.
About June.
We left it in the same position it was when my sister brought it over, because it is a heavy piece of equipment.
Okay.
So we left it in the position in the garage that it was, and all the pieces exactly where they were. And she even came to my house saying, well, they should be there. And I said, no, ma'am. I said, so
Okay,
we
so
all
when you
looked
put it-
throughout the house, and they were not
When you
there.
put it together, you found that there were certain pieces missing.
Correct.
Well, I tried to put it together, and I didn't know how to put it together, so I called her ex-husband. He's put it together about half a dozen times, so I called him. And I said, hey, could you come over and help me put this weight machine together? I had it halfway together. He walked in there and looked and says, hey, man, all the pieces ain't here.
So it wasn't until June that you discovered that all the pieces weren't there.
Yes, ma'am.
And what did you do when you discovered all the pieces weren't there?
We called her and told her that, hey, do you still have the poles? There was no hostility or anything. We said, there's pieces missing, can you check? Yeah, let me go check the storage, they may still be out there. So we went out there, and I even come to her.
You went?
Well, I called her, and she said...
No, I said, but you went out with her.
after she couldn't find them. So I said, well, let's dig through. I physically helped her move everything out of her storage building.
And you couldn't find them?
And they were not there. But she had them stored previously at somebody else's house.
Whatever. Did you try to get other poles for the machine?
Well, we thought it would be up to her since she sold it to us, and she said she would get us the parts. And so we said, okay. A few weeks went by. I said, I would casually mention it because it upset her when I talked about it.
Fine.
So
because she probably didn't have the money to give you back the $200.
Correct. That's what we figured. So we decided that.
Good. Okay. And it's clear that some of the pieces were missing, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And your position is that she purchased it as is?
Yes. We did not know at the time that the poles were missing, and we offered to buy them.
So why didn't you?
Well, Your Honor, that's where I come in. I told them to email or get in touch with the company, find out how much the poles cost. I would replace them. They come 2 weeks later, said they tried to email the company, and the company would not respond to their email. I had a person I work with email the company because I don't have internet at work.
Okay.
And I got a response the next night.
And the response was?
Model and serial number off of the weight machine.
Okay.
Contacted them. They said there wasn't one. I contacted the company back.
We said
and
we couldn't
told
find
them.
one, Your Honor.
They said they need pictures of it.
Okay.
I told them to get me pictures of it. I still haven't seen pictures of it.
Your Honor, they decided to get pictures of it after we had already told them, no, we don't want it. Please just give us our money back. They said this after the fact. I called her the last time. I said, Dottie, when are y'all coming out? You know, just being nice about it because I didn't want to flat out say, hey, give me my money back. She said, what are we coming out for? And I said, aren't you going to take pictures of the machine? You said you needed pictures. And she said, no, you guys can do it. And I was like, well, you sold it to us, so I think it should be up to you.
Miss Garner, what you're doing then was being a little stubborn.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I'm not your psychiatrist and I'm not your family therapist.
If this wasn't family, Your Honor, if she wasn't family, would we not get some kind of something from my son who is upset about this?
Not a farthing.
And later today,
I tried to help my kids out the best I can.
You didn't help them out this time, Miss Morgan. What you did was really give them the short end of the stick. You got the front end of the dog, they got the rear end of the dog.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Christina and Ronnie Garner claim Christina's sister Dottie Carr and her husband Richard owe for the cost of an exercise machine and mental distress.
It's a very easy case legally to resolve, but what I'm telling you, between sisters, if you know that her life is not easy, then what you do is if you have a camera or you get a Polaroid or you buy an Instamatic camera for $5 that you can take a picture with and take it and send it to her rather than say to her, why don't you come out because you sold it to us and you sold us.
That was after the fact that we had already told her we didn't want it anymore.
She's your sister?
Yes, ma'am.
So you should have taken, taken the picture.
I told her, I said, okay, fine. And she said, well, she threw the rope phone to Richard because I heard it hit. And she said, you talk to her. I'm tired of dealing with it.
Fine.
And this is the whole point where my case comes in, Your Honor.
This is what the law is generally. When you sell a product, unless there is a specific contract in writing that says that you are selling a product as is, it is assumed that the product is fit for the purpose for which it was intended. In this case, a weight machine. You do not have, I assume, a written contract with your sister that says that she purchased this item as is.
No, ma'am.
So that the general rule is that when you sell a weight machine, it's capable of being used as a weight machine, not as a clothes hanger, which most people use their weight machines for anyway after a while. So you get the weight machine back and they get their money back. And your aggravation, you don't get anything for aggravation.
It's not aggravation.
I'm aggravated all the time.
It's over him and our son.
She cussed me up in one side down the other.
In front of my 9-year-old
In front of our 9-year-old son, and she wouldn't even return his calls.
Okay, fine.
And he was very upset with why his Aunt Dottie was acting this way.
Well, then you tell him that his Aunt Dottie, put your hand down. And you tell him that his Aunt Dottie was acting that way because she wasn't being a grown-up and she was,
Your Honor,
upset.
and he was
but you don't get paid.
upset.
Listen to me. You don't get paid for that in a court. It's unfortunate if that's what happened. It's sad. It's not right. But it doesn't mean that you can sue for it. I'm not your psychiatrist and I'm not your family therapist.
If this wasn't family, Your Honor, if she wasn't family, would we not get some kind of something for my son who is upset about this?
Not a farthing.
I would have
not
brought him with
a sou. Okay. Not a yen. Not a penny. Nothing.
Okay.
But you get your $200 back. and they get the weight machine back.
Okay.
Judgment for the plaintiff.
Your
in the
Honor,
amount
can you
of
make it where they
$200.
come and pick it up themselves? Because we've already delivered it to them one time.
Well,
Your
you
Honor,
put
I
it-
delivered it out there to start with when they purchased
No,
it.
no, sir, you weren't there.
Listen to me. Listen, I have only one question. Do you want it back?
No.
No.
You don't
They
want it
bought
back?
it.
I don't
You
want the
she
weight
said,
machine.
you're going to pay for it anyway. Do you want it back?
No.
No.
You don't
We
want it
offered-
back?
we offered
Fine.
to make
Put
it
it out.
right,
It's
so-
trash. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $200. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It could have been taken care of a long time ago and we wouldn't have had to be doing this.
3 weeks, all we kept hearing was, Ronnie's mad, he's gonna sue.
The $1,300 was just to prove to my sister that I meant business.
She drags me thousands of miles away from my 18-month-old daughter on a ventilator. I don't need her in my life.
They needed a vacation anyway.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Morgan versus Morgan, step forward, please.
22-year-old student Victoria Morgan and her husband, Air Force officer Gary Morgan, are suing Gary's mother, office clerk Denise Morgan, for the cost of a car. Denise claims the vehicle was a gift from the couple.
Mr. Morgan, this is your mom
Yes, ma'am.
and your mother-in-law.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Morgan, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
Your children claim that they were helping you out about 3 years ago because you didn't have a car. And they bought a car for you, and it was their understanding, and you agreed to make all the payments on the car. This was your car. But for some reason you didn't have enough credit or whatever to get a loan yourself. More recently, within the last few months, your kids needed a new car themselves, and with this loan that they had for you, they were not given a line of credit to purchase a new car for themselves. So they said to you, Mom, could you pay off the car or get the loan in your name because we really need a new car for ourselves? You have children?
2.
So what you did, according to them, was you said, here, take your car back. I just bought myself a new car. So they're stuck with a car that has how many miles on it?
Over 90,000.
There's over $4,000 that's still due and owing on the car, and the car isn't worth that much. So, in effect, your children say that you stiffed them. You tell a different story.
Yes, ma'am.
So the reason I'm coming to you is I want you to tell me your version of the story. Starting in the year 2000, you called your kids and said what?
Then my car had broken down, undrivable to go to work, and then I needed a little bit of help.
You need some help doing what?
I need some help with transportation to work because my car no longer runs. So they took up upon themselves to purchase a car, put $500 down on it, so I would have a car for work.
Yes.
Which was very nice, very generous.
How much was the car altogether?
$8,433.15.
And what were the monthly payments?
$178.14.
You made all the payments for 3 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes.
All right, so then what happened?
My children had filed bankruptcy, and that's where they were not able to borrow money from any institution. So they called their mom. Mom, we need your help. Can we borrow, Mom, $4,000 out of your 401k? I tried to explain to them that this is something you do not borrow on. I'm 51 years old. That is my retirement. I am single. I need the money for my future. I said, well, what would it take to get the car off your back? They couldn't borrow money to get another vehicle because the Tracer and their Malibu are already on their credit.
So part of what they say is accurate. The Tracer is the car that you were driving.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So
I never
part of the
agreed.
So part of the reason that they couldn't finance another car was because, as you said, the Tracer was on their back.
Right.
So they did ask you to get the Tracer off their back.
They did not at that time.
Did they subsequently ask you to get the Tracer off their back?
They did later.
And what did you say to them?
I said I would look into it.
You said you would look into what? Paying off?
No, I would never pay off the Tracer.
Why not?
It's not my vehicle. I never agreed to buy the car. I never signed any legal document of any kind. So when I got my new car,
Now, just a second. Let's get to the new car. When did you buy a new car?
August 12th.
What kind of car did you buy?
A 91 Solara.
And how much did you pay for it?
$14.99.
And how many miles did it have on it?
34,000.
So you got a much better car because you had already racked up 90,000 miles on the Tracer. Is that
No,
right?
I did not.
How many miles?
Tracer came with 64 grand already on it.
No, it came with how many miles on?
45,000.
45,000 miles. So you already put 45,000 miles on the Tracer. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So after you put on 45,000 miles on the Tracer, you bought a car with 34,000 miles and you paid $1,500 for it.
15,000, I think, Your Honor.
1,500 or 15? You said 14.
The new car?
Yeah.
$14.99. 15,000.
$15,000.
Right.
For a 1991 car?
Yes, ma'am. I'm making payments.
Anything else you want to tell me?
I tried to help my kids out the best I can.
You didn't help them out this time, Miss Morgan. What you did was really give them the short end of the stick. You got the front end of the dog, they got the rear end of the dog. You called, you asked them for help. Your children, who probably don't have a lot of money, put down a down payment on a car. I don't know whether you told her that you were going to do it, did you?
No, they just drove it down.
We drove it down to her.
Okay, so it was a surprise.
Yes, absolutely. If
it was a surprise, Miss Morgan, is what you're telling me that it was a gift to her?
No, absolutely not. When we got there, my husband made it very clear to her how much we spent. We showed her the contract. She had the contract in her car for 3.5 years. With how much we put down, he asked her for that immediately. She said that she would give that back when she could. 3.5 years later, we still haven't gotten it back.
You mean the down payment?
The down payment. And she knew that she was to pay the car
off. So she then agreed
the entire
to make
loan.
the payments
Absolutely.
on the car?
And she did.
And she did for 3 years?
Yes, up until.
Right. And you had the responsibility to continue. And if you wanted to sell the car, you should have spoken to the children and said, listen, I want a better car. I want a car with less mileage on it. I'm going to sell it, even though at this point you probably can't get $4,000 for it unless somebody finds a patsy like you who's going to spend $15,000 on a 13-year-old car.
I couldn't pay off the car. It's not in my name. It's in his name.
Just a second. You can pay off the car, just as they accepted your payments every month for the car. They would accept your payoff for the car.
I never intended on paying off that car. Never. When they told me that they wanted me to send them my 401k money, I went and bought myself a car.
Don't you understand what's going on here?
I understand.
They are now stuck with a car that you put 45,000 miles on, and if they turned around to sell it, they cannot get the payoff on the car. What's the blue book on the car? Do you have that?
Yes, I have it right now.
Okay. They're out $2,000, which you would have been out if you went to sell. Clearly, you have a right to be really annoyed at your mother.
Yeah.
Really annoyed. She did the absolute wrong thing. I don't know why she would do something like that. You needed their help 3 years ago. 3 years ago, they came to your aid. You drove a car. You drove it to the ground. And then when they said to you, listen, we need some help now. We need for you to pay off this car or put the loan in your name so that we can buy another car. You turn around and say, here, take the keys on this car that now has almost 100,000 miles on. I'm going to buy myself a new one. That's absolutely outrageous. How much is left on the car?
Right now we owe $4,050.21 because we've been making the payments.
Fine, and the car is worth $2,000, so you can sell it for $2,000.
I got a $1,000 offer on it, and that's the highest we've gotten, so I would like to sell it for that.
Well, I'm sorry, madam. What's the blue book on the car?
It's $21,500, and that's in fair condition.
I don't know. But if that's the blue book on the car, I have to have some measure of value. Because if you would come here, Miss Morgan, and said, I've sold the car for $1,000, that would be your damage.
I have that.
You sold the car for $1,000?
We are pending your approval, yes. I have the money and everything. Here, I have everything.
Let me see. Let me see the blue book on the car.
It's right here. We have a family on base in the car.
Listen.
We brought pictures to show you what condition the car's in.
I'd like to see it. This is marked fair condition.
And we did detail the car and all that kind of stuff to make it more sellable.
And you had it for sale for $4,000.
Right, trying to reduce our damages. When we spoke to our lawyer, he told us to put it out for $4,000 because as much as we could get for it would minimize her damages.
Right. I don't buy this, madam, for $1,000. I think you can do better, but I'm going to split the difference with you. I'm going to allow you $1,500 for the car.
Okay.
Good. Which still means that you're going to have a deficit of $2,500, which I'm awarding you on your lawsuit.
Okay.
You did the wrong thing to your children. I'm surprised at you, madam. Shame on you. Shame on you. That's all.
Shame on me.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Vogt versus Mackey, step forward, please.
Yacht salesman Ryan Vogt is suing Joyce Mackey and her son, 22-year-old Stephen Mackey, for selling him a stolen car. Joyce and Stephen claim they had no idea the car was hot.
Well, this is a very interesting case because what I gather here is that there are really no bad guys, at least not these people. Mr. Vogt, you purchased a car that's almost 40 years old.
Correct.
From the defendant. And you paid the defendant some $4,400?
$4,400, correct.
And what happened was when you tried to register the car.
When I took the car to a professional Don Barry Mustang, he informed me that the car
Did you try to register the car
Yes,
at
I
any
did.
time?
Yes, I did.
I know you have your story that you want to tell your way. I don't have time.
Okay.
Because it's not a very difficult situation. There are no bad guys. When you try to register the car, you were told the car was stolen. The police came, took the car back, and gave it to its rightful owner. You want your $4,400 back from the defendant. The defendant says, I purchased the car about 10 years ago.
At least.
And you purchased it from some auction house. It was a 1965 or 66 Mustang that was barely drivable, and over the years you put lots of money in the car. You paid very little for it, I assume. How much did you pay for the car?
$400.
$400. But you put thousands into it because now it's like a little jewel. You wanted to use it for your son. I assume you're the son?
That's right, yes.
And you did in fact drive the car?
Yes, I did.
How long did you drive the car?
Ever since I was 16.
And how old are you now?
22.
22. So you drove it for a long time.
Yes.
Had a great time with it.
Great time.
I assume, right?
Yes.
And you registered the car in 3 states. You moved around from place to place. Nobody ever told you there was trouble with the car.
Correct.
So you said, what do you want from me? I didn't know the car was stolen. I didn't steal it. I bought it from...
Auto body and towing.
So that's the story. Who gets stuck? Did I make that fast?
Mm-hmm.
Is that about what the case is about?
Basically, yes.
Okay, good. That's why I'm here. So, Miss Mackey.
Yes.
He paid $4,400 for the car. He has no car, right?
Yes.
How many days did you drive the car, Mr. Vogt?
I had the car for about 1.5 years.
And how many years did you drive the car?
Like 5 or so years.
And did you drive the car before you gave it to your son?
A little bit.
So say you drove the car 6 years and you drove the car 1 year. Do you see where I'm getting at? It's not fair for him to be out all this money. He only had 1 year's worth of pleasure out of this car. You had 6 years worth of pleasure out of this car. So do you think, as between the two of you, you're both innocents? Would you say they're innocent?
Yes.
They didn't steal the car, right?
No.
And you did have fun driving it for 1.5 years, right?
Yes.
So you got to pay a little something for that, right?
Correct.
How much do you think you should pay for that?
I would say probably about $1,000.
That's reasonable. That comes down to $3,400, right?
Okay.
Let's say you put in $5,000 into the car in all the time that you had it.
That's about right.
That's about right? He's come down and he said, well, I think that for the year that I drove the car, it's about $1,000 a year. He drove the car for 5 years. Would you say you got $1,000 a year worth of pleasure out of your car?
I suppose so.
Right. So on balance, you got to give him $3,400. Are you following my logic?
Follow.
You could go ahead and you can go try to find the people that you purchased this car from if you didn't get clear title. But the law is pretty clear. You cannot pass good title to something that you never had good title for, even if you're innocent, because you're both innocent. So when I read the facts of this case, I say to myself, well, they're both innocent. Neither one of them stole the car. Neither one of them really even had any indication that there was something wrong with the title, because you purchased it from a towing company and the car was hardly drivable. You paid next to nothing on it because it was a mere shell. You paid good money for it because it was a hot car.
Correct.
Certainly, he can't go against the people, even if he finds them, who you purchased the car from, because he did not buy it from them. You can if you can find them. So, you owe him $3,400. Got it? Perfect. Goodbye.
You are excused. You may. This is case number 360 on the calendar in the matter of Johnson versus Vice. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Miss Johnson, it was your daughter who was getting married, is that right? Your complaint is that you took her wedding dress, I assume this is your daughter, and the dress that you were intending to wear to the wedding. You took it to the defendant's shop for the purposes of having the two dresses altered.
Yes.
Your daughter's dress needed to be hemmed and needed the train removed.
Correct.
And what had to be done to your dress?
My dress needed to be altered in the top, right through here and through the shoulders so it would fit better.
Okay.
And it needed to be hemmed.
Anyway, you claim that she destroyed or damaged the dresses. You want to be compensated. to the tune of $2,500. That's what you're suing her for. And Ms. Weiss said she didn't damage dresses at all. Who did you buy the dresses from?
I bought the dresses at David's Bridal.
They don't do alterations?
They do alterations, but because they are under an agreement with the manufacturer, they couldn't take the train off of Patsy's dress. So I had to take it somewhere else because
that
it would
sounds
alter.
like a lot of nonsense to me.
Well, that's what they told me.
All right, so you bought these dresses, and how do you claim that she damaged the dresses?
The hem on my daughter's wedding dress is completely ruined. It's longer in spots. It's uneven. As you can see right here, this is how it was finished in the back of the dress, where the train was removed. You can see where it goes like this. It's like this all over the dress. I have pictures to show you.
Okay, so let me see the pictures.
These are the wedding dress.
Okay.
On the day of the wedding, Patsy was afraid that she would trip and fall on the dress because it was too long.
I mean, I see it, and I see the way she looks in it. Your daughter looks lovely in the dress. She looks lovely in the dress. Okay, and what was wrong with your dress?
My dress was supposed to be altered in the top because it was too big. It was a little bit too big, and it didn't fit right. And
how many fittings did you have?
One fitting. That's all I was told was needed.
And this is the way the dress looked when it was on you?
Yes.
So what's wrong with it?
It's too big. The top, do you see the puckers on the side, right, the breast area, and the back?
Okay, so you weren't happy with the alteration. So what happened? You went to pick up the dresses.
I went to pick up the dresses. I walked in the shop. My daughter's dress was hanging outside of the garment bag. It didn't even look like the same dress. It was dingy. It was wrinkled. And the hem was, you could see it from a distance, that it was completely crooked.
How much was it going to be to hem the dress and remove the train?
$75 for the wedding dress.
$75 to do that?
Correct.
And was Miss Weiss charging you anything additionally to clean and steam the dress?
She was going to charge me. I asked her to clean the dress and to press the dress and put it back the way it was when I brought it in. And she told me that she wasn't going to do it. And I was going to have to pay for it to be cleaned and pressed.
Well, that's absolutely right, of course.
Well, I'm sorry, but I disagree with that. I believe that it should be given back to me the way that I brought it to her. It wasn't dirty and wrinkled. And
How did you expect someone to work on a dress of that size and to do the kind of alteration that they wouldn't do in the place where you purchased the dress without touching it?
I expect to receive it back, pressed and cleaned and ready for the wedding.
Miss Johnson, you purchased a dress someplace where they would not assume the responsibility of altering it the way that you wanted. Now, I don't know why Ms. Weiss did, but you bring it to her, and it's a big job. $75 to do the alterations is a bargain. And with that, you also want cleaning and pressing of the dress that anybody else would charge you at least another $75 for if you brought it to another cleaner's to clean and press a wedding dress. And you want that all for the same price. That's unreasonable.
If she got it dirty, she doesn't have to clean it?
Reasonable. Now, when you picked up your daughter's dress and your dress, tell me what happened in the shop.
On prior occasions, I had paid with a check for hems done in bridesmaids' dresses. I attempted to pay for the alterations with a check. She wouldn't accept one. I told her, well, I'll be back later. I went home, and in between the time I left her shop and arrived home, she called my house and told my daughter that I was a rude, and that...
were you rude when you were there?
I was very upset. I wasn't rude. I told her I would be back. I was upset. The dresses were awful.
Well, when you say you were upset, I want you to tell me how you displayed the fact that you were upset.
I was very quiet. I said to her, the dress is wrinkled, it's dirty. She said, you brought it to me like that. I knew at that point in time that it was useless to even try and reason with her because I knew what was coming.
What was coming?
This. I ended up with the dresses just as they were. They were unfit for the wedding.
Just a second. Did you take them someplace else to have them cleaned?
I didn't have time. It was 2 days before the wedding.
When did you bring the dress into her?
I took it in on the 15th.
15th of what?
Of September.
And when did you pick it up?
On the 24th.
When were you supposed to pick it up?
We waited for her to call. She didn't call. We finally had to call her, and she asked us, when is your wedding? That was on like the 23rd. She had the dresses for 9 days.
You mean when you brought the dresses in and went for a fitting, you didn't say to her, my daughter's wedding is
Yes,
this
we
and such a
did.
date, and I want to pick up the dresses in 5 days or in 7 days?
No, I just assumed that she would be calling me. She said she would be calling me. I assumed it would be in a timely
All right.
manner.
So then you went home, and then what happened?
My daughter told me what she said. I called her back on the telephone. I told her that I didn't appreciate her calling my house and talking to my daughter. I told her that I was going to take her to court because I wasn't happy with the dresses. I wanted them cleaned, I wanted them fixed, and I wanted them back like I brought them.
You didn't want them back like you brought them.
Well, I wanted them pressed and cleaned. They were dirty.
You wanted them pressed and cleaned, but you didn't want to pay for it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How much did it cost you to have it cleaned?
$75.
So you wanted her to alter the dress and have it cleaned, $75.
It wasn't dirty when she got the dress.
Oh, Bruce,
She
you know,
had
you're
dresses
not getting my point!
And later today,
Despite the fact that she made no payments on the $3,000, you decided to advance her more money to go on the trip to Vegas.
Looking back at it,
So
I wasn't wise.
Right.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Susan Johnson claims seamstress Blanca Weiss ruined her daughter's wedding dress 2 days before the wedding. Blanca denies the charge and says an irate Susan threatened her.
So what did you do? So then I told her I was taking her to court. She told me to go ahead, and here we are today.
Just a minute, but somehow you got the dresses back.
Yes, she told me that when I got ready to come in to pick up the dresses that I needed to bring the police with me because she wasn't releasing anything to me. So I had to wait out front for the police. When I went in, I paid her for the dresses. We took pictures in the shop, and we left.
You paid her $75 to do your daughter's dress, and how much to do yours?
$22.
And how much did you pay for your daughter's dress?
$400.
And how much did you pay for your dress?
I paid $30.
So could you explain why you're suing her for $2,500?
Because my daughter was intimidated and scared. She was afraid she was going to fall.
I got you. So for your pain and suffering and aggravation.
For her.
Okay. Now, Ms. Weiss, I'll hear you.
They came to the store. She said she wanted the train off. I thought it was a very simple dress. It didn't have any applications or anything in the hem. So I said, fine. I told her it was going to be $75, and they agreed to do that. And they did tell me the wedding date, and I accept, and I say, we will have it done. I go about my business, and I do a lot of work. Then she calls to see if the dress was ready, and I said, no, it's not ready. We have plenty of time, but if you want the dress right away, I'll stop and I'll work on the dress, which I did. The following day, I had it ready, and I called her and I told her it was ready. The dress is a full skirt, and in a dress, when it's full skirt, it makes waves. And because it makes waves, you might think there's parts longer than other parts because of the waves that it does. This dress had this type of hem in the bottom. Wedding dresses normally have this in the bottom. I took this off and I put it on the wedding dress that I cut because what it is,
You
this
put the
helps,
backing on again. Could I see the wedding dress?
because this helped the dress to stay up. Otherwise, the dress would be flimsy like the mother's dress.
I see.
So it's this.
No,
So
it's a stiffer material.
It's a stiff material, and I do this type of alterations all the time.
So I understand what you did. You did not just make a hem. You removed that heavy material.
Yes.
And then you sewed it back on in order to give it the same look, but it did have a wave to it.
Yes, and it had it before. This type of dresses, it will because of the flare of the dress. This is a full skirt dress. If you pick it up like this
Fine.
dress goes all the way up.
Fine.
So it gives those waves. So I did that. I didn't see any spots
I got you.
on the dress.
I see what you're talking about now. You're absolutely
So I got it
right.
ready. I hanged it up there, and I called them and tell them it was ready. The lady came in to pick up the dress. She saw it. I put the bag back, and when the lady went to pay me with a check, I told her we did not accept checks, and I had the sign posted in my bag where it says no checks in final payments. So the lady got upset. She says that it was a cheapy store, did not, everybody receives checks. And I said, I'm sorry, we don't. She got upset and she started saying words that I did not understand. And she left very upset. That's why when she left, I did call the owner of the dress that I thought it was the daughter. And I told her that when she was ready to come, be her to pick up the dress because I didn't need her mother to be rude to me. I only did my job. Like 2 hours later, this lady calls, and the only thing she says, I am going to get you fired, and I am going to take you to court. And she hung up. I said, okay. So,
now,
anyway.
Ms. Johnson, your daughter wore the dress when?
On September 27th. I have a picture.
And what did you do? I'd like to see it. What did you do with the dress after she wore it?
I put it in a garment bag and put it away.
And it hasn't been cleaned?
It has been cleaned. I took it to the cleaner a couple of days ago.
How much did it cost you to have it cleaned?
$75.
That's exactly what I said.
Correct.
So you wanted her to alter the dress, removing the entire hem, cutting it down, putting it back on, removing the train, and have it cleaned, a job that cost you $75. You wanted her to do that for $75.
It wasn't dirty when she got the dress.
Oh, please, you know, you're not getting my point.
She had the dresses in the floor, cutting them to hem them. Other people.
Miss Johnson, when someone works on a garment like that over a course of a day and a half, it is not going to be in the same pristine condition as when you take it out of a bridal store. Now, if you had bought it at her shop, perhaps she would have given you that service for nothing. I don't know how the bridal business works, but you buy it one place and you take it to her, and you want her to do 2 jobs for the price of one, and you didn't even buy your dresses there. You're being totally unreasonable, and your lawsuit is dismissed. And if your daughter did not have a happy day because her hem was a little bit puckered, she better get a life for herself, too. That's all. Your lawsuit's dismissed. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think that if she dirtied the dress, if she ruined it, she should have to pay for it.
I thought I'd do a good job. I've been in business for 23 years, and for a small business to survive, you either have to be good or you have to be good.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lester versus Lester. Step forward, please.
Marilee and Thomas Lester are suing their daughter, 22-year-old food server Natasia Lester, for the unpaid balance on a '97 Saturn. Natasia claims her parents took the car away from her.
Mr. and Mrs. Lester, this is your daughter. How old are you?
22.
According to your complaint, you co-signed for a car for your daughter about 2 years ago. And the agreement was that she was to make the payments on the car.
Yes, ma'am.
And she did make payments on the car for 2 years.
Yes, ma'am.
And then something happened. She was in an accident. And according to you, she just stopped making payments on the car. She said her insurance lapsed and she stopped making payments on the car. You want the car payments because
Yes, ma'am.
you don't want your credit to be ruined. Your daughter says that she made the payments for 2 years, and I assume that she intended to keep on making the payments, but that you had the car towed from her place of employment to your house, and she no longer has the car.
That is true.
So then I guess a lot of this has to do with timeline, why you're suing your child, I don't even want to get into. But you purchased the car when, Natasia?
In September of 2002.
May I see the paperwork? Do you have the paperwork?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see it, please?
You want just the contract or just all of the paperwork? Here's the contract.
Good luck.
Yes, it's very small. It was faxed over.
I couldn't find the original.
What were your payments, Natasia?
$188.57.
And you made the payments from September 2002 until when?
Until August of 2004.
When was the accident?
It was in September of 2004.
And what did you do with the car?
I left it at my place of employment, trying to get it fixed. I had made arrangements with a friend of mine that worked there, and he was going to help me get it fixed.
What was wrong with the car?
I ran over a tire on the freeway, and the extent of the damage, I'm not quite sure exactly. I know the radiator was busted. It was undrivable. I had to have it towed.
And according to your parents, you let the insurance lapse on the car.
Yes, I had.
Why is that?
Just making payments for other things, and I know that I shouldn't have, but it got lapsed. That was on my own fault. I let that happen.
Now, you did in fact tow the car.
Yes.
Yes, I put it on a trailer and took it to my house.
And then you went over to speak to her.
Yes.
Well, tell me about the conversation.
I just asked her how she was doing and what happened, and she's told me she couldn't. She swerved trying to avoid a tire, and then she just kept driving the car because she didn't want to stop. Then I said, well, are you okay? She says, yes, I'm fine.
Okay.
And then I just went back to my work, and I was talking to my guys at work what to do with the car. And I said, well, I'll have to bring it over to my shop. and check it out to see what really needs to be done. I had no knowledge that she was going to have anything to do with getting it fixed with anybody over there.
Well, didn't you ask her?
No, I did not at that time.
Why not?
I figured, well, I'll just take it to my house. That way I can take care of it, get it fixed, and we can get it back on the road.
Mr. Lester, you just precipitously took her car away. You can't do that.
The car's still in my name too, ma'am.
You can't do that, sir.
She said that there's no need to make the payments now that the car's wrecked. So she told me.
No, you just made that up as you're going.
No, ma'am.
Did you say that to him?
No, I did not.
That's not what you wrote in your complaint, sir. You have the car now?
Yes, it's in the garage.
Very good. Well, I don't know what you're complaining about. I assume you're fixing it, right?
No, I'm not fixing it.
Well, I suggest you do.
I can't because I didn't have the money.
I suggest, Mr. Lester, that you fix it because you had a contract with your daughter. And you breached that contract when you towed the car without her consent or permission, without having a discussion with her, back to your home. Now, I don't know what else was going on between you and your daughter, but clearly that's not the way family treats family.
Can I go ahead and say something? After we went ahead and had the car towed to our home, she made no contact whatsoever to go ahead and say, you know, what can I do? I know I didn't make the insurance payments. Why, I mean...
I didn't make the car payments.
Didn't make the car payments.
Just a second. Don't say she didn't make the car payments. She did make the car payments. She's not obligated to make the car payments now that you have the car in your possession.
The only reason I towed the car is because my boss, he gets upset when crash vehicles are in his parking lot.
We couldn't leave it in that yard, and she wouldn't.
Then you have a discussion with your daughter. You just don't take it.
She was not at work the next day.
Mr. Lester, Mrs. Lester, you got a lot of excuses. I don't know what problem you have with your daughter. It has nothing to do with this car. Your case is dismissed. You have the car. Fix it and sell it. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step back. Now, this is case number 474 on the calendar in the matter of Bankston versus Holtgren. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Miss Bankston, who are these people?
This is April Holtgren, Bo's daughter, and my fiance, Randy.
And who is this?
It's my fiance, Tara Harris.
Everybody brings a fiance. What do they have to do with this case? Anything?
She's seen some stuff and heard some stuff, and other than that, that's about it.
Okay. According to what I read, Miss Bankston, he used to be a friend of yours or a boyfriend of yours?
He used to live with me.
Live with you as a boyfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
And then he went to jail?
No, ma'am. He lived with me after he came out of jail.
What year did you go to jail, sir?
In January '92.
And how old was April in 1992?
7.
Who did she live with?
When I was in jail, she was living with my mom and my dad.
What happened with that?
They died.
When did they die?
In '96, my dad died, and in '98, my mom died.
What happened in 1998?
She went to live with a friend of mine for a little while, and her mother come got her. After that, Mary went and got her at a motel room.
How old was she at the time, Miss Bankston?
She was 13 when I took her.
How did you find her in a motel room?
She called me and told me she wanted something she hadn't eaten in a few days, and I took her something to eat. And when I got to the motel, it was a bad place for her to be. And so I took her with me, and I raised her until he got out.
When did you get out?
In 2001, October 2001.
Were you in communication with Miss Bankston while your daughter was living with her?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did you tell her in this communication?
Told her I appreciated everything she was doing for her.
Who was supporting her at the time she was living with you?
I was.
When you got out of jail, Mr. Holcren, where did you go?
I moved in with Mary.
Mary and your daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you go to work?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you start supporting the household?
I was pulling my share, ma'am.
What was he paying for?
He was paying like the electric bills, and I paid the house payment because it was my house before he came along, and he paid the electric bill and things like that. He was pulling his weight as long as he lived there. Yes, ma'am.
Did you ever ask Miss Bankstrom how much she spent on your daughter while you were incarcerated?
No.
Why not?
I don't have any idea why I didn't.
Well, this lawsuit's very simple. It said that at some point you used her credit card after you got out of jail while you were living with her. You used her credit card. You told her you would pay for the bills on her credit card, and you didn't. And you owe her some money, $1,100.
Right.
So?
She got me some credit cards off her account, and went and ate on them and done some stuff on them. I took my boy to World Series, Little League World Series up in Oklahoma on a gas card, and other than that, you know, I was paying them until I left.
And so what happened when you left?
I don't know, it wasn't a good scene.
Did you leave with your daughter or without your daughter?
I left without my daughter.
So you left your daughter there?
No, she wasn't living there at the time, I don't think.
Where was
she
she
was
living?
living in another place.
Where was she living?
She was living with another friend of ours.
Why?
Her and her father did not get along, so she moved out of the house.
Okay. Can I see the charges that he made?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Would you like all the evidence? Or just
Sure.
that?
Golden Corral.
That's an eating establishment.
Japanese Palace.
Another eating establishment. I have several eating establishments that we ate at on my credit cards too.
Well, this is a lot of eating out.
Been 10 years since I ate out anywhere, so we kind of ate out pretty regular.
So why don't you pay for it?
Well, I really don't feel like I owe her anything on that, because I put a, I done some other things, I wasn't trying to get anything from her that I done over there. I mean,
Well, give me an example, sir.
I put a storage building in the backyard. It was like 900 something bucks. I helped put a central air and heating unit in her house. That was labor on there. I put some electrical work in the garage and stuff.
Well, how much do you think it takes to support a teenager, sir? A month?
Quite a bit.
Listen, if you have a large golden retriever, you can't take care of a large golden retriever for less than $100 a month. So
Right.
would you say it costs $200 a month to take care of a teenager?
At least.
Let's try 3.
Yeah, probably.
14 months, right? And she was there 14 months, and you didn't pay any support, right? So why would you stick her with $1,100 worth of bills?
The bottom line is that it was kind of crazy over there. Just several things that happened, and she wrecked my motorcycle and all that. Right
She
there
what?
at the end. She wrecked my motorcycle.
She wrecked your motorcycle. I couldn't understand. She wrecked your motorcycle. How'd
Right.
she do that?
Well, she took off on it and crashed
That he
it.
wouldn't even had if I had not had financed it for him.
And I was without the motorcycle for 3 months. I paid $500 a month on that while I was in the shop. $6,500 a month.
Well, did she do that on purpose?
Well, I told her not to get on it because she never rode one before, and she took off on it on her own wheel and crashed it. Hurt herself real bad. And then right before I got the motorcycle, I was going to refinance the motorcycle because she kept hounding me about getting it refinanced,
Because
out of
she
her
was on a
name.
loan.
Right.
Well, she asked you to refinance it because she didn't want to be on the loan.
Right.
Well,
So
that sounds right to me.
Well, I finally did that, and the day I was
No, he
going
didn't.
the day I was going to refinance it, she called me and told me that she wasn't going to sign off on that loan until I give her $1,000. And I said, well, I ain't give you $1,000. And I went up there and traded it in and got it out of her name anyway.
What a prince. This is your fiancé. Is there anything you want to say to me?
Yeah, do I need to stand up?
You do.
I just have one comment, and that is whenever he went to refinance the motorcycle last year, he got his credit report and got it back, and it was about that thick, where he only had 4 credit cards in his name that he had gotten since they split up. Well, this had 18 open accounts on it.
We're not talking about the charges for those.
I know, but what I'm saying is...
What's your name?
Tara Harris.
Miss Harris, how old are you?
32.
You have children?
1.
How old?
12.
Who supports that child?
Me and him support him, and I get child support.
You get child support from the child's father?
Yes.
You get child support every month?
No, ma'am.
Every week?
No, ma'am.
How often?
Supposed to get it every month.
Yeah, and what happens?
He's been living at my house. He was with his dad. He's been living with us for the last year.
Oh, so before that he was living with his father?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you paying child support
Yes,
to his
ma'am.
father? How often?
Out of every paycheck, weekly.
Now, when you don't get child support from his father, does that annoy you?
Yes, ma'am.
And that child is biologically related to you.
Correct.
And biologically related to his father. How do you feel about somebody who doesn't feel any responsibility to somebody who supports their child for 14 months?
She lived with me for 5 years before he got out.
5 years. And pays for clothes, doctor, shoes, vacation, everything else. And doesn't say, as soon as I get out, I'm going to start paying you back for whatever you laid out, because I know that that's my responsibility. Think that kind of person has good moral fiber?
Actually, I think Bubba does have good moral fiber. He just, he didn't work for 10 years. He didn't have the money.
Well, he does now.
Yes, ma'am, he does, and he
So
greatly
just a second.
appreciates.
Just a second. I don't care if he appreciates. You got to put your money where your mouth is, honey. Appreciating is not good enough. How could you say he's got good moral fiber? He's working now. And if his child was supported by a stranger for 5 years, and not only supported by, but nurtured by, stayed with, took care of when she was sick, whatever else, you start paying that back. You start saying that was my obligation. And because I committed a crime doesn't mean that I don't have that obligation. So instead of not paying her support, now, I'm not talking about a year ago or 2 years ago, I'm talking about now. Instead of supporting your child, to whom he is not obligated in any way legally, you should send that money to her. She's not even suing for that money. I would love for her to do that. All she says was he used the credit card, $1,100, and that he should pay. Don't you think he should pay that too? Minimally.
No, I don't think he should pay that credit card debt.
You think he should pay her supporting his daughter?
He's probably, I would say that he's probably responsible for that.
Well,
I
she's
know
not
that
suing. She's not suing him for that. She says, I took that responsibility on myself, and I'm not even going to pursue that. I just want what he's supposed to pay me on the credit card when he left. You get my drift.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,100. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I felt he can buy other things. He can buy a new Harley, but he couldn't pay me $1,100 for credit card bills that he charged up.
What he'll go for? I mean, I don't know what I've done. If she wouldn't have been here, I don't know where she'd be,
He has somebody else, I have somebody else. We're friends. We have a daughter together.
I'm just glad she's going to get paid so I don't have to hear him argue anymore.
I will never put nobody on my credit cards ever again.
Seth Rollins vs CM Punk ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়নশিপ ম্যাচ রেসলমেনিয়া 2025 রেসলমেনিয়া 2025-এ অর্থাৎ এই বছরের রেসলমেনিয়াতে সেথ রোলিন্স এবং সিএম পাঙ্ককে আপনারা ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়নশিপের জন্য ম্যাচ লড়তে দেখতে পারবেন। আর সেইখানে ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়ন হিসেবে সিএম পাঙ্ক রেসলমেনিয়াতে এন্ট্রি নেবেন। অন্যদিকে রয়্যাল রাম্বল বিজয়ীতে হিসেবে সেথ রোলিন্সকে রেসলমেনিয়াতে এন্টার করানো হবে। বিশেষ করে এদের ম্যাচটি নেটফ্লিক্সে অনুষ্ঠিত হয়েছিল, অর্থাৎ সিএম পাঙ্ক এবং সেথ রোলিন্সের ম্যাচটি নেটফ্লিক্সে অনুষ্ঠিত করা হয়েছিল। সেখান থেকেই ডিসাইড করা হয়েছে সিএম পাঙ্ককে ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়ন বানানো হবে এবং সেথ রোলিন্সকে রয়্যাল রাম্বল উইনার করা হবে। চলুন আজকের এই ভিডিওটিতে জেনে নেওয়া যাক রেসলমেনিয়াতে অনুষ্ঠিত হতে যাওয়া সিএম পাঙ্ক এবং সেথ রোলিন্সের ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়নশিপ ম্যাচটিতে কোন রেসলার জয় পাবে, আর সেথ রোলিন্স তিনি রয়্যাল রাম্বল জিততে পারবেন কিনা, এবং কোডি রোডস এবং সিএম পাঙ্ককে ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়নশিপ ম্যাচটিতে হারিয়ে সেথ রোলিন্স কি নতুন ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়ন হতে পারবেন, এবং রেসলমেনিয়ার পূর্ব মুহূর্তেই গুন্থারকে হারিয়ে সিএম পাঙ্ক কি ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়ন হবেন। চলুন আজকের এই ভিডিওটিতে সমস্ত নিউজ এবং আপডেটগুলো নিয়েই ডিসকাস করা যাক। তবে ভিডিওটি না টেনে সম্পূর্ণ দেখতে থাকুন। আপনি যদি আমাদের এই চ্যানেলে নতুন দর্শক হয়ে থাকেন তাহলে অবশ্যই আমাদের এই চ্যানেলটিকে এক্ষুনি সাবস্ক্রাইব করে রাখুন, কেননা রেসলিং সম্পর্কে প্রতিনিয়ত এই চ্যানেলে আপডেট দেওয়া হয়ে থাকে। তো রেসলিং সম্পর্কে নিয়মিত ভিডিও পেতে আমাদের চ্যানেলটি সাবস্ক্রাইব করে পাশেই থাকুন। তো চলুন ভিডিওটি শুরু করা যাক। বিশেষ করে আপনারা যেমনটা জানেন সিএম পাঙ্ক এবং সেথ রোলিন্সের ম্যাচটি অলরেডি অনুষ্ঠিত হয়ে গিয়েছে মানডে নাইট রয়ার এপিসোডে, এবং সেইখানে সেথ রোলিন্সকে হারিয়ে সিএম পাঙ্ক জয় পেয়ে গিয়েছে। তবে ডাব্লিউডাব্লিউই ম্যানেজমেন্টের পক্ষ থেকে সেই সময়ে তাদের ম্যাচটির রেজাল্টকে ঘিরে ডিসিশন নেওয়া হয়েছিল যেই রেসলার সিএম পাঙ্ক এবং সেথ রোলিন্সের ম্যাচটিতে হেরে যাবে সেই রেসলারকে জেতানো হবে রয়্যাল রাম্বল 2025, এবং সেই ম্যাচটিতেই রয়্যাল রাম্বল জিতিয়ে সেইখানে চ্যাম্পিয়নশিপের জন্য চ্যালেঞ্জ করা হবে অপোনেন্ট রেসলারকে। অর্থাৎ যেমন ধরুন সিএম পাঙ্ক সেখানে জয় পেয়েছে, তো সিএম পাঙ্ককে রয়্যাল রাম্বল অবশ্যই জিতানো হবে না, যেহেতু সেথ রোলিন্স হেরে গিয়েছে। সেথ রোলিন্সকে রয়্যাল রাম্বল 2025 জিতানো হবে এবং সেথ রোলিন্স রয়্যাল রাম্বল 2025 জিতে তিনি ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়নকে চ্যালেঞ্জ করবেন। তবে এখানে আরো একটি ডিসিশন নেওয়া হয়েছিল, সেথ রোলিন্স এবং সিএম পাঙ্কের এই ম্যাচটিতে যে রেসলার জয় পাবে সেই রেসলারকে ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়ন বানানো হবে রেসলমেনিয়ার পূর্ব মুহূর্তে। অর্থাৎ রেসলমেনিয়ার পূর্ব মুহূর্তেই সিএম পাঙ্ক এবং গুন্থারের মধ্যে একটি সিঙ্গেলস ম্যাচ দেখা যাবে এবং সেইখানে গুন্থারকে হারিয়ে সিএম পাঙ্ক তিনি ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়ন হবেন এবং রেসেলমেনিয়াতে তিনি চ্যাম্পিয়ন হিসেবে পারফরমেন্স দিতে যাবেন। আর সেখানে তিনি পারফরমেন্স দিতে গিয়েই হয়তোবা তার অপোনেন্ট হিসেবে সেথ রোলিন্সকে পাবেন, কেননা সেথ রোলিন্স ভার্সেস সিএম পাঙ্কের ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়নশিপ ম্যাচটি এখন থেকে রেসেলমেনিয়ার জন্য লক করে রাখা হয়েছে। যেহেতু সেথ রোলিন্স সিএম পাঙ্কের এগেনস্টে মানডে নাইট ওয়ার এপিসোডে হেরে গিয়েছিলেন, তো ডাব্লিউডাব্লিউই ম্যানেজমেন্টের পক্ষ থেকে যে ডিসিশনটি নেওয়া হয়েছে বা ডাব্লিউডাব্লিউই ম্যানেজমেন্টের অরিজিনাল প্ল্যান অনুযায়ী সেথ রোলিন্সকেই হয়তোবা রয়্যাল রাম্বল জিতানো হবে এবং সেথ রোলিন্স রয়্যাল রাম্বল জিতার পরে তিনি যে কোনো একটি চ্যাম্পিয়নকে চুজ করতে পারেন এবং চ্যালেঞ্জ করতে পারেন সেই চ্যাম্পিয়ন হিসেবে হয়তোবা সেই সময় যেহেতু গুন্থারকে হারিয়ে সিএম পাঙ্ক তিনি ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়ন থাকবেন, তো হয়তোবা সিএম পাঙ্ক তিনি গুন্থারকে হারিয়ে ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়ন হবার পরে রেসেলমেনিয়াতে যখন অংশগ্রহণ করবেন ঠিক সেই সময়ে হয়তোবা সেথ রোলিন্স রয়্যাল রাম্বল জিতে এসে সিএম পাঙ্ককে চ্যালেঞ্জ করবেন ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়নশিপের জন্য। অর্থাৎ আপনারা বুঝতেই পারছেন, একদিক থেকে গুন্থারকে হারিয়ে ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়ন হবেন সিএম পাঙ্ক এবং ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়ন হয়ে সিএম পাঙ্ক তিনি রেসেলমেনিয়াতে অংশগ্রহণ করবেন এবং তিনি রেসেলমেনিয়ার প্রথম রাত অথবা দ্বিতীয় রাত যে কোনো জায়গায় মেইন ইভেন্ট করতে পারেন এবং ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়ন হিসেবে তারও যেহেতু অপোনেন্ট প্রয়োজন হবে, আর সেথ রোলিন্স এবং সিএম পাঙ্কের যেহেতু পুরনো রেশারেশি রয়েছে, তাদের পুরনো রেশারেশিকে কেন্দ্র করেই এদের ম্যাচটি হয়তো বা পরবর্তীতে রেসেলমেনিয়াতে কনফার্ম করা হবে। সেথ রোলিন্স তিনি রয়্যাল রাম্বল জেতার পরে যে কোনো চ্যাম্পিয়নকে চ্যালেঞ্জ করতে পারবেন, কোডি রোডসকেও চ্যালেঞ্জ করতে পারবেন অথবা সিএম পাঙ্ককেও চ্যালেঞ্জ করতে পারবেন। তবে যেহেতু পূর্বের শত্রুতা রয়েছে সিএম পাঙ্কের সঙ্গে এবং সিএম পাঙ্কের কাছে মানডে নাইট র নেটফ্লিক্সের প্রথম সপ্তাহে সেখানে হেরে গিয়েছে, সেটার জন্য মূলত ডাব্লিউডাব্লিউই ম্যানেজমেন্ট হয়তোবা খুব তাড়াতাড়ি রেসেলমেনিয়ার আগেই সেথ রোলিন্সকে রাগান্বিত হয়ে সিএম পাঙ্ককে চ্যালেঞ্জ করতে দেখতে পারবেন। অর্থাৎ সিএম পাঙ্ক এবং সেথ রোলিন্সের মধ্যে রেসেলমেনিয়াতে ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়নশিপের জন্য ম্যাচ অনুষ্ঠিত হবে, আর সেটারই পাইপলাইন এখন থেকেই তৈরি করছে ডাব্লিউডাব্লিউই ম্যানেজমেন্ট। আপনারা দেখবেন এখন থেকে হয়তো বা সিএম পাঙ্কের সঙ্গে হালকা রেশারেশি থাকলেও রয়্যাল রাম্বল ম্যাচের জন্য ডিক্লেয়ার করবেন সেথ রোলিন্স নিজেকে। অন্যদিকে সিএম পাঙ্ক তিনি নিজেকে ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়নশিপের জন্য গুন্থারের এগেনস্টে নিজেকে ডিক্লেয়ার করবেন এবং গুন্থারের এগেনস্টে হয়তোবা রয়্যাল রাম্বল অথবা রেসেলমেনিয়ার পূর্ব মুহূর্তে যে কোনো মুহূর্তেই গুন্থারের এগেনস্টে সিএম পাঙ্কের ম্যাচ দেওয়া হবে, সিঙ্গেলস ম্যাচ ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়নশিপের জন্য। আর সেই ম্যাচটিতে গুন্থারকে অসাধারণ পারফরমেন্স দিয়ে গুন্থারকে হারিয়ে সাকসেসফুলি নতুন চ্যাম্পিয়ন হবেন বা গুন্থারকে হারিয়ে নতুন ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়ন হবেন। আর অন্যদিকে আমরা সেথ রোলিন্সকে দেখতে পারবো তিনি রয়্যাল রাম্বলের জন্য নিজেকে ডিক্লেয়ার করবেন। আর যেহেতু মানডে নাইট রয়ের এপিসোডে নেটফ্লিক্সের এপিসোডে দেখা গিয়েছিল সেথ রোলিন্স সিএম পাঙ্কের কাছে হেরে গিয়েছে এবং ডাব্লিউডাব্লিউ এর টার্মস অফ কন্ডিশন ছিল যে রেসলার হেরে যাবে সেই রেসলারকে রয়্যাল রাম্বল জিতানো হবে। আর যেহেতু সিএম পাঙ্ক সেখানে জয় পেয়েছে এবং সেথ রোলিন্স হেরে গিয়েছে, এরপরে গুঞ্জন ওঠা শুরু হয়েছে যেভাবেই হোক সেথ রোলিন্সকে রয়্যাল রাম্বল জেতানো হবে। বেটিং অডসের দিক থেকেও সেথ রোলিন্স তিনি টপ পজিশনে আসতে শুরু করেছেন, একেবারে টপ পজিশনে চলেও এসেছেন। তো হয়তো বা ডাব্লিউডাব্লিউই ম্যানেজমেন্ট 2025 সালের রয়্যাল রাম্বলটি আবারও সেথ রোলিন্সকে জিতাবেন এবং সেথ রোলিন্সকে জিতিয়ে অপরদিকে সিএম পাঙ্ক তিনি ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়ন থাকবেন। তো ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়ন সিএম পাঙ্ককেই চ্যালেঞ্জ করবেন, কোডি রোডসকে কোনোভাবে চ্যালেঞ্জ করবেন না, কেননা সিএম পাঙ্কের সঙ্গেই পুরনো শত্রুতা রয়েছে সেথ রোলিন্সের। তো অবশ্যই রেসেলমেনিয়াতে আপনারা সেথ রোলিন্স এবং সিএম পাঙ্কের মধ্যে একটি সিঙ্গেলস ম্যাচ অনুষ্ঠিত হতে দেখতে পারবেন। তবে এবার জেনে নেওয়া যাক সিএম পাঙ্ক এবং সেথ রোলিন্সের যদি ম্যাচ অনুষ্ঠিত হয় ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়নশিপের জন্য, তাহলে সেই ম্যাচটিতে কোন রেসলার জয় পাবে আর সেই ম্যাচটিতে কি কি ঘটতে পারে। বিশেষ করে আমরা বর্তমান সময়ে স্পেকুলেশন লাগিয়ে জানতে পেরেছি যে সেথ রোলিন্স রয়্যাল রাম্বল জিতে সিএম পাঙ্কের চ্যাম্পিয়নশিপের জন্য চ্যালেঞ্জ করবে এবং সিএম পাঙ্ক গুন্থারকে হারিয়ে ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়ন হিসেবে রেসেলমেনিয়াতে এন্ট্রি নেবে। তো রেসেলমেনিয়াতে যেহেতু সিএম পাঙ্ক এবং সেথ রোলিন্সের মধ্যে ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়নশিপের জন্য ম্যাচ অনুষ্ঠিত হবে, এই ম্যাচটিকে ঘিরে দর্শকদের মধ্যে উত্তেজনা তৈরি করবার জন্য মানডে নাইট রয়ের এপিসোডগুলোতেই সিএম পাঙ্ককে সেথ রোলিন্স এসে আক্রমণ করবে এবং সেথ রোলিন্স সিএম পাঙ্ককে আক্রমণ করে এভাবে চলতে চলতে এক পর্যায়ে রেসেলমেনিয়াতে যখন এদের ম্যাচটি অনুষ্ঠিত হবে, এই ম্যাচটিতে অসাধারণ পারফরমেন্স দিবেন দুইজন রেসলারই। যেহেতু মানডে নাইট রয়ের এপিসোডে অলরেডি একবার সেথ রোলিন্স হেরে গিয়েছে, তো রেসেলমেনিয়াতে হয়তো বা এমনটা দেখা যেতে পারে সিএম পাঙ্ককে হারিয়ে নতুন ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়ন হতে পারেন সেথ রোলিন্স। অর্থাৎ রেসেলমেনিয়া প্রথম রাত অথবা দ্বিতীয় রাত্রে যেখানে ম্যাচ অনুষ্ঠিত হোক না কেন সেইখানে অবশ্যই ভিন্ন রকম একটি রেজাল্ট দেখা যেতে পারে। যেমনটা আপনারা দেখেছিলেন মানডে নাইট রয়ের এপিসোড নেটফ্লিক্সের প্রথম রাত্রে সেথ রোলিন্সের কাছে ভালো পারফরমেন্স দেখা গেলেও সিএম পাঙ্কের কাছে সেথ রোলিন্স তিনি হেরে গিয়েছিলেন। তো হেরে যাবার পরে যেহেতু রয়্যাল রাম্বল জেতানো হবে, তার মোমেন্টাম ধরে রাখবার জন্য যেহেতু মানডে নাইট রয়ের এপিসোডে একবার হারানো হয়েছিল, তো রেসেলমেনিয়াতে সিএম পাঙ্ককে হারিয়ে যেভাবেই হোক নতুন ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়ন হতে পারেন সেথ রলিন্স। অর্থাৎ সিএম পাঙ্ককে হারিয়ে সেথ রলিন্স তিনি রেসেলমেনিয়াতে আবারও ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়ন হবেন, এমন কিছুই ধারণা লাগানো হচ্ছে এবং এমন কিছুই রিপোর্টস বের হয়ে আসছে WWE ম্যানেজমেন্টের পক্ষ থেকে। তো আপনাদের কি মনে হয় সেথ রলিন্স রয়্যাল রাম্বল জিততে পারবেন কিনা, এবং অপরদিকে সিএম পাঙ্ক তিনি ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়ন হতে পারবেন কিনা, আর রেসেলমেনিয়াতে এদের ম্যাচটি অনুষ্ঠিত হতে পারে কিনা আপনাদের কি মনে হয় অবশ্যই কমেন্ট বক্সে কমেন্ট করে জানাবেন। এবং সেথ রলিন্স ও সিএম পাঙ্কের মধ্যে এই সিঙ্গেলস ম্যাচটি অনুষ্ঠিত হলে এদের মধ্যে কোন রেসলার সর্বশেষ সময়ে চ্যাম্পিয়ন হিসেবে বের হয়ে আসবেন? এখানে কি সিএম পাঙ্ক পারবে সেথ রলিন্সকে হারিয়ে সাকসেসফুলি চ্যাম্পিয়নশিপটি রিটার্ন করতে, নাকি সেথ রলিন্স তিনি রয়্যাল রাম্বল জেতার পরে রেসেলমেনিয়াতে সিএম পাঙ্ককে হারিয়ে তিনি নতুন ওয়ার্ল্ড হেভিওয়েট চ্যাম্পিয়ন হবেন? আপনাদের কি মনে হয় এই দুই রেসলারের মধ্যে ম্যাচ অনুষ্ঠিত হলে কোন রেসলার জয় পেতে পারে? অবশ্যই কমেন্ট বক্সে কমেন্ট করে জানাবেন। আর ভিডিওটি ভালো লাগলে আমাদের চ্যানেলটিকে অবশ্যই সাবস্ক্রাইব করে পাশে থাকবেন, কেননা প্রতিনিয়ত রেসলিং সম্পর্কে আমাদের এই চ্যানেলে ভিডিও আপলোড করা হয়ে থাকে। আর আপনি যদি ভিডিওটি ভালোবাসেন বা রেসলিং সম্পর্কে ভিডিও দেখতে ভালোবাসেন বা ভিডিওটি যদি আপনার ভালো লেগে থাকে, তাহলে অবশ্যই একটি লাইক দিয়ে আমাদের সঙ্গেই থাকবেন। ভালো থাকবেন, সুস্থ থাকবেন, দেখা হচ্ছে পরের কোনো ভিডিওটিতে। আল্লাহ হাফেজ।